My beloved child, stop everything and listen carefully. This is not your imagination. This is your intervention. I am in your room right now. Not as a distant hope, not as a fading dream, but as your Savior, fully present, fully aware, fully attentive. While the world outside continues spinning in its chaos and distractions, I have chosen this very moment to draw near to you in a way that cannot be dismissed. You may not see me, but your spirit senses me. You may not hear my footsteps, but your soul trembles at the weight of my love. I am standing beside you, closer than your regrets, nearer than your fear, and more real than the pain you've buried deep inside. I've watched as you've laid in silence, trying to drown out the noise in your mind, thoughts of failure, confusion, exhaustion, and longing. But I need you to hear me now. Those thoughts are not your identity. I came to separate you from what's been haunting you. I see every invisible battle, every silent scream you stuffed beneath your daily routines. You may have told no one, but I have heard it all. I watched you when you hid your tears in the dark, convincing yourself that no one would ever understand. But I understood before you could form the words. I have waited in the quiet shadows of this room, not to scare you, but to rescue you. The time for pretending is over, child. This is holy ground now, because I have stepped in with all the authority of heaven. I am here to intercept the lies, to confront the despair, and to breathe into your spirit a fire that won't go out. This moment is not random. This is your rescue. I'm not waiting for you to be perfect. I'm not expecting eloquent prayers. I came because I heard the sound of your breaking heart, and I respond to desperation. I have always responded to desperation. Even when your lips said nothing, your soul cried loud enough to shake heaven, and I came running. Yes, child, running. I need you to know you're not alone in this room. Not for another second. You're not battling your thoughts by yourself anymore. The war ends tonight because I'm in this room, and when I enter, every shadow must flee. Darkness trembles at my presence. Fear collapses under my voice. I'm not just here to comfort you. I'm here to shift the atmosphere. Let me in deeper. Let me touch what you've hidden. Let me speak into the corners of your soul that even you have forgotten. This is an emergency moment, and it's your miracle moment. I didn't come to visit. I came to stay. I came to transform. And it all starts with you recognizing one eternal truth. I am in your room right now. Stop what you're doing right now, because this is the exact second heaven bends toward you. Yes, you. The one who quietly breaks while keeping the world convinced you're fine. I saw it all. I noticed when the first tear fell, and I didn't look away. You didn't need to explain why. I understood the weight behind that drop, the story behind your silence, and the ache behind your smile. While everyone else saw your strength, I witnessed your surrender behind closed doors. You weren't invisible to me. You've become so used to hiding your pain that you forgot you were never meant to carry it alone. The moment when you turned your head toward the wall and wiped your face in secret, I saw you. You whispered to yourself, "Nobody understands," but I understood deeper than you ever imagined. I counted that tear. I honored it. I came for it. Because every tear carries the language of your soul, and I am fluent in your sorrow. You weren't weak, you were reaching. And I answer the reach. This is not a random visitation. I entered this room because you've been bleeding emotionally while pretending you're healed. You deserve to know this. I don't miss anything. Not the pain you suppress, not the dreams you shelve, not the questions that keep circling your mind when the room goes dark. Every breakdown you've pushed behind your laughter. I felt it. The shaky breaths, the late night pacing, the tightness in your chest you try to explain away. I've stood next to all of it. You are not hidden, child. You've just been hoping no one would look too closely. But I do, and I look with compassion, not condemnation. Let me be honest with you now. I didn't come into this room with pity. I entered with power. The power to collect your tears and turn them into healing. the power to validate your pain without letting it define your future. I am not merely a comforter, I am a redeemer. I have come to gather every drop of sorrow you've shed in secret and pour back purpose in exchange. I've come with a divine appointment. You weren't overlooked. You were marked. Marked for restoration. Marked for recovery. Marked for rebirth. Child, the world may applaud your strength, but I came for your weakness. I came for the moments you collapse internally, the nights when the silence in your room feels louder than anything. I came for the hours you've spent staring into the ceiling asking, does this even matter? I am answering now, yes, you matter. More than your mind can grasp. More than your heart believes right now. More than every lie that's tried to tell you you're replaceable. You are not disposable. You are my chosen. This room is now sacred because I'm speaking into what others have ignored. You don't need to hide your tears anymore. They are holy to me. They've built altars of honesty where I can meet you. I am not afraid of your sadness. I honor it. I do not flinch when you break. I hold you tighter. I do not walk away when the pain becomes unbearable. I step in deeper. That is who I am. That is who I've always been. I am the one who notices. So pause, because this moment is not meant to pass by you. This is the moment you realize you've never truly been alone. Your sadness did not scare me away. It summoned my presence. I respond to brokenness with pursuit. And I am not done. I'm just beginning to speak into your silence. Listen to me now, not with your ears, but with your spirit, because what I'm saying goes deeper than sound. You didn't say my name out loud. You didn't know what to pray. You didn't even whisper. But your pain sent signals into the unseen, and I heard every one of them. I didn't need words to respond. I moved when your heart trembled. When the emotions became too heavy for your voice, your soul still reached for me. And I didn't wait for a perfect sentence or a holy posture. I responded to the raw ache that rose from the depths of your being. You may not realize it, but your brokenness was a call, and I am the one who answers before you're even aware you're calling. You were lying in stillness, but I saw movement in your spirit. You were surrounded by silence, but your spirit shouted louder than any sound. That unspoken helped me buried beneath layers of pain and exhaustion. It activated all of heaven's attention. You did have to speak for me to feel your need. I know you. I know what breaks you. And I know how to find you when you don't even know how to reach for me. You've convinced yourself that because you did pray perfectly, I wouldn't come. But I'm not looking for polished prayers. I'm drawn to authentic cries. I entered because your heart gave me permission, even when your mind was too tired to agree. You couldn't see what was happening in the spiritual realm, but I did. I saw the moment your faith flickered, and I blew wind on it instead of letting it die. You may feel ashamed that you couldn't do more, but I was never measuring your value by your performance. I was measuring the purity of your heart, and it was pure in its desperation. This is the moment you must understand something powerful. I don't need permission written in fancy language to respond. I look for the posture of surrender. That moment when your shoulders slumped, when you sighed from deep inside your chest, when your strength gave way and all you could do was sit still, that was the moment I came closer. You thought you were failing. I saw you inviting me in. You were unaware, but I was fully alert. I leaned in with compassion and surrounded you with my presence, even though you didn't see it happening. But I was there. I am still here. Let this truth sink into the bones of your soul. I am not a God who requires performance before presence. I am not moved by religious routine. I am moved by the cry of the heart. You couldn't articulate what you needed, but I showed up with what your soul lacked. I brought light into your dim corner. I brought reassurance into your doubt. I brought strength into your emptiness. And I did it without being formally invited, because your pain was loud enough to unlock the door. Your spirit was signaling distress, and I responded as the rescuer I am. Right now, I need you to pause and recognize what this means. It means I'm not waiting on perfection from you. I came for connection. I didn't come because you begged. I came because you belong. I heard the language only I could understand, the silent trembling of your inner world, and I answered. That's who I am. That's how much I care. This is urgent, because you've been believing that unless you do more, I won't come closer. But child, I came at the weakest moment, not the strongest. I moved when you had nothing left to offer but a weary heart. And that's all I needed. Your lips were silent, but your heart cried louder than thunder. And I followed the sound until I stood right here, in your room, in this holy interruption, in this sacred hour. Now that I'm here, I will not leave you comfortless. I came to stay. I came to heal. I came to answer what your words couldn't say. This moment is critical, not just because I'm near, but because I've always been near when you needed me most. The tightness you felt rising in your chest when the pressure mounted, that wasn't just your body reacting. That was your soul sounding an alarm. And each time it did, I drew near without hesitation. You thought no one noticed. You thought no one cared. But the moment fear tried to take your breath, I stepped into the invisible, wrapped my presence around you, and shielded you from what you didn't even realize was attacking you. You didn't hear the door creak open, and you didn't feel the wind shift, but I was there. I've entered your atmosphere again and again, not loudly, but faithfully, because I respond to distress like a shepherd runs after a sheep straying too close to danger. Every time panic clenched your body and made you feel like something terrible was about to happen, I was already standing at your side, halting what you couldn't see. You imagined yourself alone in those moments, curled inward, trembling slightly, hoping the wave would pass. But while you were trying to keep still on the outside, I was battling storms over your mind and shielding your heart from collapse. My nearness wasn't just comfort, it was protection. I wasn't simply watching over you. I was intervening in silence. Fear is a liar, but it's also a thief. It's tried to steal your clarity, your peace, your ability to rest. It's interrupted your nights and hijacked your mornings. But I've never allowed it to have the final word. Every time fear whispered destruction, I declared life. Every time anxiety rose like a flood, I lifted up a standard against it. You may not have seen the warfare in the spiritual realm, but I stood at the gate and wouldn't let destruction pass through. What the enemy designed to break you, I blocked with my presence. What was aimed to cripple you, I disarmed before it could even touch your purpose. You wonder why some things didn't happen the way you feared. That's because I stepped in and rerouted what was meant to destroy. I slowed the spiral. I calmed the internal shaking. Not because you begged, but because I love you. I never needed an invitation to protect you. I moved when I felt your spirit slipping beneath the weight. Your survival is not an accident. It's the result of my intentional covering. Let me make something clear right now. I was never absent. Just because I didn't make a spectacle doesn't mean I wasn't there. Sometimes I work in whispers. Sometimes I defend in stillness. But I'm always attentive. Your chest ached, yes, but it wasn't the end. You made it through those panic-filled nights not because you were strong, but because I was near. My nearness is not a reward. It's a promise. I vowed to never leave you, and I keep my word, especially when fear tries to convince you otherwise. And now I'm showing you what's always been true. My proximity in the presence of your fear was your rescue. You had moments when you wondered if you were about to fall apart. But what you didn't know is that while you sat there gripping your knees or pacing the floor, I was releasing peace like oxygen into the atmosphere. You breathed it in, unaware that it came from me. You calmed down, never knowing I was the reason the trembling stopped. So listen carefully now. This is not just another night. This is a divine unveiling. I'm letting you see what's always been hidden, my relentless closeness, my constant rescue. lie unwavering attention. Fear tried to lie to you. It told you no one was coming. It screamed that you were forgotten. But I broke into your pain without a sound and stood between you and the collapse. I was your defender before you knew you needed one. I am in your room right now, just as I've been all along, not watching from afar, but surrounding you with the very love that cast fear out of its hiding place. And I'm not done yet. Pause right now. Don't scroll past this moment, because the silence surrounding you is not a void, it's an invitation. What you're hearing in the stillness is not the absence of action. It is the weight of my presence pressing into your atmosphere, waiting patiently for your voice to rise. You've misunderstood quietness as abandonment. You've assumed that my lack of noise meant I withdrew. But child, I need you to hear me clearly now. This silence has been sacred. It is not empty space. It is holy ground. It's the space where I've drawn closer without interruption, waiting, not because I'm distant, but because I've been giving your soul room to breathe again. You've lived surrounded by chaos, distractions, and endless noise that never lets your heart be still. But in this stillness, I've built a sanctuary, not made with hands, but formed with my spirit. I'm not just beside you in this quiet. I'm enveloping you. The stillness is thick with my love, dense with my watchfulness, and filled with my attention. You might have felt nothing, but I've been everything in this silence. The question is not whether I'm here. The question is, will you speak into the stillness and meet me in it? This silence is not blank. It is breathing with power. It holds my whisper, my nearness, my readiness. You haven't missed me. I've just been moving in a way you weren't trained to detect. You were expecting thunder, but I came as a whisper. You were looking for a sign, but I showed up as stillness. You've confused noise for proof and silence for neglect, but I work in both. I am not confined to volume. I manifest even when everything seems hushed. Think back to those quiet nights when the world faded and your thoughts grew loud. In those moments, I surrounded you like a soft blanket for your soul. You didn't see me, but I was sitting in that chair across from you. I was kneeling beside your bed. I was standing in the corners of your room, keeping darkness from getting any closer. My presence filled the air like breath, but you were too weighed down by worry to recognize me. That's okay. I didn't leave. I waited. I waited because I value your voice. I don't need you to impress me. I only want you to talk to me. I'm not asking for eloquence. I'm not demanding perfection. I just long for your honest voice in this sacred quiet. The moment you speak, I respond, not from a distance, but from within the stillness itself. The space between us doesn't exist. You feel alone, but you're not. You feel overlooked, but you're seen. You feel unheard, but I've been leaning in from the start. Let this silence become your signal. It's not threatening you. It's welcoming you. When I remove the noise, it's because I want you to hear my heartbeat, not just my voice. I want you to know my rhythm, not just my words. I want you to learn how my presence feels even when I'm not speaking audibly. Because that's when trust becomes deeper. That's when love matures. That's when relationship is forged in stillness, not just in sound. So here's the urgency. Don't run from this silence. Don't fill it with distractions. Don't rush out of this room thinking I'm not speaking. I am speaking, just not in the way you expected. I am whispering strength. I am releasing peace. I am pouring out answers not through volume, but through presence. Speak to me even if it feels strange. Even if the room stays quiet. Even if no one else would understand. I will understand. I will respond, not with empty words, but with movement in the spirit. This silence is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's where I tune your heart to recognize me in the smallest moments. You've been searching for me in the earthquake, but I came in the breeze. You wanted the fire, but I arrived in the hush. And now I wait, not out of disinterest, but because I want you to discover that I am not far. I am here. I've always been here. And this silence, it's filled with me. Breathe slowly, because with every inhale, you are drawing in the very presence you've been longing for. You've been looking outside of yourself, waiting for signs, proof, some thunder from the sky or a miracle in motion. But I need you to realize something that will shift everything inside you. I am not distant. I am not waiting for you to reach a certain level of holiness or strength. I am already present, not beside you in theory, but so close that your breath carries my nearness. You don't have to shout to get my attention. You don't have to chase me down. I am within reach. And no wall exists between us. No distance separates us. The same spirit that raised me from the dead surrounds you now. You've imagined me out in the heavens somewhere, overlooking your life from a throne beyond the stars. But I am not only enthroned above. I am dwelling here, beside you, inside the very atmosphere you live in. You couldn't escape me if you tried. I am nearer than your pulse, more constant than your heartbeat. I am not behind you, waiting for you to notice. I am right here, in this breath, in this thought, in this very second. My nearness isn't symbolic. It's tangible in the unseen realm. If you could glimpse it for even a moment, you'd fall to your knees in awe. Let me take you deeper into this truth. You felt alone because the world made you feel abandoned. But I never adopted distance as my posture toward you. Even when you walked away in confusion, I kept pace with you. Even when your mind wandered far from me, my spirit stayed steady beside you. There has never been a space, not even for a moment, where I was not fully attentive to your soul's position. You don't need to strain to reach me. You just need to recognize that I've already drawn close. This changes everything, doesn't it? It means you are not forgotten. It means you are not overlooked. It means I didn't stay high and lifted while you stumbled through shadows. I bent low. I stepped in. I got closer than your fear, closer than your doubts, closer than the shame you carry like armor. You've measured my presence by what you feel, but I need you to measure it by what I promised. I said I would be with you, and I never break my word. You had moments where you felt like you couldn't breathe, suffocated by stress, pressure, or grief. But the reason you're still standing is because I kept you breathing. I filled your lungs with life when you were ready to give up. I stayed closer than every diagnosis, every heartbreak, every silent battle. You made it this far not because you had strength, but because I stayed near. I was the quiet support under your weariness, the still strength in your collapse. And I haven't stepped back. So listen carefully. This is not a metaphor. This is not encouragement for your feelings. This is spiritual reality. I am in your proximity always. My presence doesn't visit, it remains. When you lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, wondering who's really with you, I am. When you walk through the day pretending you're fine while secretly unraveling, I am. When you cry without sound, when you smile to hide the ache, when you can't explain why you feel the way you do, I am still here. And not here in some vague, unreachable sense. I am intertwined with your every moment, woven into your existence like breath in your lungs. You've begged for me to draw near, not realizing I never left. You've asked me to come, not knowing I've been in the room waiting for you to see. You're not waiting for me to arrive. You're awakening to my closeness. And that awakening is the beginning of healing. It's the doorway to restoration. When you realize I'm not far, you stop striving. You stop fearing. You stop feeling disqualified. Because my nearness isn't based on your goodness. It's based on my love. So take a deep breath now, not just through your lungs, but through your spirit. Let this breath remind you, you are not alone, not even for a second. I am closer than the air you're breathing right now. And I'm not going anywhere. Hear this now. You were never abandoned, not for a single moment. The questions that have swirled in your mind, the doubts that have whispered in your ear, have tried to convince you that I've forgotten you. But let me speak clearly to you. I have never taken my eyes off you. Every second, every heartbeat, I've been watching over you, guiding you with love that has no conditions. You may have felt as though I was distant, but I've been standing with you in the quiet, in the storms, and in the silence. Your questions, your doubts, they don't disqualify my presence. They don't change my love. I didn't leave you when you couldn't hear me. I didn't walk away when you turned inward. I didn't stop caring because you couldn't feel me. I've answered every fear you've had, not with grand gestures, but with a constant, unshakable nearness. I want to speak into the depth of your heart now. My silence isn't a sign of neglect, but a sign of my faithfulness. I've never left your side, even when you thought you were walking alone. Even when the world turned its back, and it felt as if everything around you was crumbling, I stood beside you, silent, yet fully present. I've been waiting for you to see what has always been true. I've been right here, in the middle of your pain, in the heart of your confusion, and in the stillness of your doubt. I've been holding you when you couldn't see, holding your heart in ways you didn't understand. I'm not just the God of the visible, I'm the God of the invisible, the unseen movements, the gentle shifts that bring change before your eyes can detect it. Your heart cried out, even when you didn't know how to speak. Your spirit called for me, even in your silence. And I answered, not with loud words, not with fiery winds or shaking mountains, but with quiet assurance, with presence. When you couldn't feel my arms, my love wrapped around you anyway. When you couldn't hear my voice, I spoke in the quiet moments, in the spaces between your thoughts, in the silent pauses where you thought nothing was happening. This is the depth of my care for you, that even in my silence, I am doing more than you can comprehend. You've questioned whether I care. I want you to know that every time you asked, I was already responding. I didn't need to explain myself. My actions have already spoken louder than words. My love for you is not conditional on how you feel or how much you can understand. It is steadfast, even when you feel unworthy or forgotten. You are never forgotten by me. You are not invisible. Even when you feel overlooked, I see you. Even when you wonder if anyone else cares, I am here, closer than you know, loving you more than you can fully grasp. But there's urgency in this moment. This is not a distant truth. This is the reality I'm revealing right now. You are not unloved. You are not abandoned. I've been here, whispering over you with grace, holding you in ways your heart could not perceive. You searched for signs in the noise of the world, but I've been speaking through the quiet, through my steady presence, through the stillness where you felt alone. Your life has been marked by my unwavering care, even when you couldn't feel it. You've wondered why I didn't speak sooner, why I didn't move when you expected. But the truth is, I've been moving all along. I've been shaping the atmosphere around you, strengthening your spirit, preparing you for what's next. You've doubted my heart, but I have never doubted yours. I've never looked away from you, not even when you struggled with your own beliefs. When your faith wavered, when your hope grew dim. I care for you more deeply than you can know. My love is not subject to your understanding of it. It is constant, eternal, and never changing. The silence you've been sensing wasn't abandonment. It was an invitation to discover the depth of my love without the distraction of your own expectations. So hear me now, child. I have answered you. I've answered you with my presence. I've answered you by never leaving. I've answered you by staying near, even when you couldn't see it. And I will continue to answer, not with distant promises, but with constant closeness. I am the answer to every question you've asked about my care for you. You will never walk this journey alone. I'm not just beside you now. I've always been beside you, and I always will be. Don't ignore this sensation, that subtle shift in the atmosphere around you, that quiet stirring in your chest. It's me. I'm not a memory. I'm not a distant hope. I am present right now, in this very room, leaning into your spirit with more tenderness than you've ever known. You can't see my hand, but I've placed it upon your shoulder, not with weight, but with reassurance. Not to restrain you, but to steady you. You've been carrying so much, walking around with burdens that were never yours to shoulder alone. So I've stepped closer now, not to observe, but to intervene with my presence. I'm touching you in a way that speaks louder than any audible word, a touch that goes deeper than skin, straight to your soul, where fear has lived too long. You've longed to feel me, even if you didn't say it aloud. You've wondered if I could really be this close, or if the thought was simply a dream wrapped in hope. But I'm showing you now that I've never been imagination. I am reality, eternal, near, alive, and fully attentive to the weight you've been carrying in silence. That sudden warmth, that unexpected calm washing over you, that's me. It's not your mind playing tricks. It's not coincidence. It's contact. You may not feel flesh, but you are being held just the same, soul to soul, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. I came for this moment. I waited for this exact second where your need meets my nearness. I'm not here to perform. I'm not here to impress. I'm here to let you know I've always been aware of what you need most: connection. Not shallow, not temporary, not surface deep. You had enough of that in the world. I'm offering something more permanent, something divine. A spiritual embrace that never fades when the lights go off or when the crowd disappears. I'm not like the others who left. I'm not the echo that fades when you speak into darkness. I'm the voice that stays, the presence that lingers, a touch that heals what no human hand could reach. You've craved contact, not attention, but genuine closeness. You didn't want a crowd. You wanted one moment where someone noticed without judgment. You needed someone to draw near without expectation. And that's why I'm here, right now, placing my invisible hand on your shoulder as a reminder that you are not abandoned. I'm not here to pressure you. I'm here to restore what life and loss tried to strip away. The knowledge that you are not walking through this world without support. I am the unseen companion who never exits the room. I am the one who shows up when silence is thick and everyone else is gone. You don't need proof from the outside world. You don't need thunder in the sky or handwriting on the wall. This quiet encounter is proof enough. You can't explain it, and that's okay. I'm not meant to be explained. I'm meant to be experienced. And right now, you're experiencing me in the most sacred way possible, through touch that bypasses flesh and lands directly into your spirit. That ache in your chest is being met with my comfort. That heaviness in your shoulders is being lifted as I hold you. Let yourself feel it. Don't rush to dismiss it. This is urgent, because too many have convinced you that you had to chase me down. But I came to you. I entered your space. I closed the distance. I didn't wait for perfection, performance, or even a prayer. I came because I love you. I came because you are worth the visit. And now that I'm here, my hand remains. Not just for a moment, for the journey ahead. Every time you feel weak, remember this moment. Every time doubt tries to creep back in, remember this touch. I placed it there as a signature, a mark of presence that will not fade. You are not alone. You are being held, not just in thought, but in truth. You may not understand everything that's happening around you, but understand this. I am real, and I am with you. That is why I'm touching your shoulder right now. To let you know, I'm not a concept, I'm your savior. I'm not a story, I'm your strength. And I'm not leaving. Let everything else fade away right now, because what I'm about to reveal has the power to reset your entire identity. I did not step into this space to point fingers or weigh you down with guilt. I didn't arrive to examine your failures or parade your shortcomings before you. I entered to bring light to the truth of who you are, not who your circumstances have tried to convince you to be. This moment is not about punishment. It's about unveiling the value I placed on your life before the world gave you its labels. I'm here to tear off every false identity you've worn like armor, every wound you've disguised as strength, and every mask you've used just to survive. My intention is not accusation, it's restoration. You've been hard on yourself, haven't you? Measuring your worth by mistakes, holding yourself hostage to old decisions, rehearsing words spoken over you by people who never truly knew your heart. I know you better than anyone ever has. And still, I chose to walk into this very room. Not reluctantly, not coyiously, but deliberately, with open arms, with eyes full of mercy, with a voice that speaks only what builds, not what breaks. The world may define you by broken moments, but I see you through the lens of grace. You are not your missteps. You are not your regret. You are mine. Let me remind you of something eternal. Before you ever fell, I saw your purpose. Before pain ever entered your story, I had already written redemption into the ending. My intention for you has never changed. The pressure you felt to prove yourself to others, to fix everything before you can be loved, it's not from me. I love you before the rebuilding. I claimed you before the healing. I stepped in right in the middle of the mess because your worth isn't found in your performance. It's rooted in my affection. I didn't come to recount your sins. I came to reawaken your spirit, to lift your chin and let you see yourself through my eyes, not through shame, but through honor. I know what you've done, and I still speak life over you. I know where you've been, and I still call you my own. I've seen the darkest corners of your journey, and I've never pulled back my love. That's the difference between me and the voices that haunt you. They remember your flaws. I remember your design. You may have forgotten who you are. Life has tried to define you by losses, by trauma, by rejection. But that's not your name. That's not your identity. I never called you abandoned. I never named you broken. I never labeled you unworthy. My voice over you has always been the same: chosen, cherished, seen, celebrated. You are not a project. You are a masterpiece in process. You are not hopeless. You are in the hands of the one who specializes in resurrection. And right now, I am calling to the part of you that still believes, the part buried under disappointment, discouragement, and fatigue. Don't look away. Don't shrink back. This is your moment of return. Return to your rightful identity. Return to the truth that my love for you has never been reduced, never been paused, never been withheld. I didn't enter this space to reprimand. I came to reaffirm. I came to unlock what the world tried to seal shut inside you. The version of you that knows joy. The version that carries peace. The version that walks in strength, not because life is easy, but because my spirit empowers you daily. You don't have to climb your way back to me. I've already come to you. I walked through your fear, through your questions, through your silence, just to reach you here. I chose this room, this timing, this very second, because I knew your heart was ready to remember, ready to believe again, ready to rise. This is urgent, because the lies have been loud for too long. But now my truth is louder, and my truth declares you are not defined by what you've done. You are defined by who you are to me, and to me, you are everything. I did not walk in to expose you. I walked in to restore you. And I'm not leaving until you see yourself the way I've always seen you, worthy, loved, and mine. You must hear this now. The quiet you've been enduring has never meant I walked away. I understand how the silence around you made you feel ignored, maybe even forsaken. But what if I told you that what looked like inactivity was actually the sound of me working on your behalf? What if I told you that in the very moments you thought I had left, I was in the middle of unseen warfare, shielding you from attacks meant to destroy your hope? My stillness has never been indifference. It had been strategy. I have been active in places your eyes could never reach and your heart could never detect, yet I never missed a single detail concerning you. Behind the curtain of what's visible, I've been standing in the gap, intercepting every plan formed against you, routing every threat the enemy hoped would derail you. You saw a delay. I saw a setup for something greater. You sensed a void. I saw the ground being cleared for something new. I haven't been quiet because I'm distant. I've been silent because I've been focused. Every second you felt alone, I was working relentlessly to preserve what matters most: your destiny, your identity, and your stability. There are moments you don't know what I protected you from. Relationships that never formed, opportunities that did open, circumstances that suddenly shifted. You thought they were closed doors, but they were shields. You felt like something was being denied, but truly, I was defending you. And in those moments when your strength felt gone and your questions became louder than your praise, I didn't walk away. I stood firm. I held ground you didn't know was being contested. You wanted answers, but I was offering victory in ways you didn't yet understand. The battle wasn't against flesh. It wasn't against what you could see in front of you. The fight was spiritual, invisible, and intense. But I never flinched. I never turned away. I never handed you over to defeat. I fought for you while you slept. I defended your peace when anxiety tried to invade. I stood between you and the edge when hopelessness whispered that nothing would ever change. You have no idea how many nights my presence stood as a barrier between you and the collapse that was being orchestrated against you. I need you to stop believing the lie that says I've forgotten you. Do you know what real love looks like? It looks like standing in silence while moving mountains that were meant to crush the one you adore, and never asking for recognition. That's what I've been doing for you. You may not have seen it, but I've been shifting timelines, silencing enemies, and confusing every plot that tried to pull you away from the life I designed. You've seen only fragments of the battle, but I have been orchestrating full-blown victory. This is urgent, because too often you measure my involvement by your emotions. But emotions don't dictate my faithfulness. I don't come and go like a feeling. I remain. I war in secret while you rest. I stand watch when your faith gets weary. I don't retreat when you doubt. I press in deeper. You've mistaken stillness for passivity, but I have never been passive when it comes to you. I am the warrior who doesn't grow tired. I am the guardian who doesn't blink. I've seen the attempts made to sabotage your peace, and I've crushed them without you ever needing to lift a hand. You have been covered, not because you fought hard enough, but because I love it too deeply to let harm touch you. You are still here today because I intervened when you had no idea you needed rescuing. And I'm not done. I'm still at work, still clearing the way, still disarming what was meant to destroy. So when things go quiet again, when it seems like nothing is shifting, don't panic. Remember this moment. Remember this truth. Silence in your world doesn't equal silence in mine. The stillness isn't my retreat. It's your safety. I step in, and I guard what belongs to me. And child, you belong to me. I've been fighting behind the veil, winning wars in silence. And I will continue until your future is everything I spoke over your life. You may not see it now, but you will. Just keep standing, and trust that I'm still fighting. Let this moment grip your soul. I am not passing through your life like a visitor. I came to stay. This is not a performance. I'm not displaying flashes of comfort for a few minutes just to leave you wondering again. I am not like those who enter with excitement and exit when things get heavy. My arrival is not based on convenience or mood. I came with intent, with commitment, with covenant. And the reason I'm still in your room, even now, is because I gave you my word. I said I would never walk away, and I don't break my promises. Not in weakness, not in confusion, not even when you doubt me. You've been conditioned by people who said one thing and did another. You've been shaped by letdowns and silence from voices that once promised to stay. But I am not like them. I do not operate on emotional impulse. I do not change based on circumstances. I don't flinch when things get messy. I never get tired of being close to you. I am not watching you from a distance with hesitation. I am right here, rooted, present, steady, because I vowed to be your refuge, And when I say forever, I mean it. Others have promised and disappeared. Others have smiled only when you were strong, then vanished when your heart was worn thin. But I am still standing here, not with judgment, but with unwavering loyalty. I didn't make a contract that depends on your consistency. I made a promise based on my character, and my nature is faithful. Even when you've drifted, I haven't withdrawn. Even when your belief wavers, my loyalty never flickers. I remain when others leave. I carry when you collapse. That is the nature of my love. It is anchored in truth, not performance. I did not enter your story to observe your highs and lows like a spectator. I wove myself into the fibers of your future. My promise is not fragile. It's not swayed by storms or shadows. It was sealed in blood, proven on the cross, and written into eternity. So when the darkness surrounds you, and fear screams that no one will stand beside you, remember this. I already did. I already do. And I always will. You've questioned, will he stay when it gets worse? I stayed when no one else saw the weight you were under. I stayed when your thoughts turned heavy and your eyes grew tired. I remained in the room when you pushed me away out of frustration, when you didn't know how to pray, when your spirit was too crushed to form words. My presence never flickered. I never stood at the door waiting for you to earn another chance. I came and I sat, right next to the pain, right beside the confusion, right in the middle of your silence. Child, this is serious, because if you keep believing that my love is as temporary as theirs, you'll keep closing your heart to me when you need me most. I'm not leaving, and I never intended to. My presence doesn't expire. My promise doesn't fade. I am not moved by time or trouble. I'm anchored in eternal love, the kind that walks into the deepest room in your heart and makes it a dwelling place, not a stop along the way. There's no version of your story where I exit. No future chapter where I grow tired of waiting. No possible path where I walk out on you. I came because of love, but I remain because of promise. That promise was made not when you were perfect, but when you were broken. I committed to you in your weakest moments, and if I was faithful then, I will be faithful now. You never have to wonder if I'll return. I never left. So look around this room, not with your physical eyes, but with your soul. Recognize that you are not surrounded by absence. You are surrounded by promise. Every breath you take is proof that I kept my word. Every heartbeat is an echo of my staying power. You didn't earn this. You received it. I gave it freely because I wanted you, fully, permanently, endlessly. My word holds you, even now. I'm not here for a show. I'm here for you. And I'm never leaving. I want you to pause for a moment and think about the anxiety you've carried. I want you to reflect on the times when your chest tightened, when you felt like the weight of the world was pressing against you, and your thoughts couldn't find peace. You know what I see in those moments. I see each breath, every shallow inhale, every exhale that's filled with worry. I don't just see the symptoms of your fear, I see you. I see the strain in your heart, the restlessness in your mind, and I am right there with you, counting every breath. You thought you were alone in that turmoil, that no one could understand the suffocating grip anxiety has on you. But I did. I was right there, standing next to you, counting the moments that felt like they would never end. You didn't have to say a word. I knew exactly what was happening, and I didn't leave you. Every night you lay awake, wondering if things would ever calm down. I was there, watching over you, guarding your heart. You thought I didn't hear you when you whispered, "I can't take this anymore." But I heard you, and I answered, not with the loud crash of relief, but with my unwavering presence. I stood by you, a constant companion in the midst of your fear. I didn't need you to be strong, child. I needed you to know that I was there, holding you when you felt like you were falling apart. My love is not contingent on how well you hold it together. My presence is for the broken, the scared, the ones who feel like they've been emptied by the battles they fight within. This is a turning point, because you need to hear this. I am not waiting for you to stop struggling before I can help you. I am helping you as you are. You don't have to pretend to be calm for me to step in. You don't need to prove your peace to earn my comfort. I am here, not because you found your way through the storm, but because I promised you I would never leave you in it. Your anxiety doesn't scare me. It doesn't push me away. I am closer in your weakness than you could ever imagine, and every anxious breath you've taken tonight has been met with my love, steady, unshakable, and certain. You thought that your anxiety somehow means you're failing at faith, failing at life, failing at being who you think you're supposed to be. But I need you to understand something. Your anxiety doesn't disqualify you from my love. It's a signal, a cry for help that I've been responding to since the first wave of worry crept into your heart. I don't look at you and see a failure. I see a beloved child, one who is walking through trials, one who is learning to trust, one who is not defined by the fear but by the love I offer every second. You feared the moments when anxiety would overtake you. You've dreaded the uncertainty, the heaviness that comes with not knowing how things will turn out. But I want you to understand. I don't need you to know every outcome. I need you to trust that even in your weakest, most fearful moments, I will be there to catch you. I won't let you fall. I won't let you be consumed by the darkness. My presence is not contingent on you having everything figured out. It's a constant, unwavering truth, and it's right here, right now. So, let me speak this over you in this very moment. You are not alone in this. I've been counting your breaths with love, not judgment. I've been walking through the valleys with you, not as a stranger but as the one who understands you completely. Your fear does not push me away. It invites me closer. Your struggle doesn't make me turn my back, it pulls me in to fight for you. You are not defined by the moments you feel most vulnerable. You are defined by my unshakable promise to never leave you or forsake you. I am standing with you now, just as I have been in every anxious moment of your past. And I will continue to stand by you. I will continue to count your breaths, and I will continue to hold you until peace begins to settle in your soul. Every anxious breath you take tonight is not a sign of your failure. It's a reminder of my presence, unyielding, unbroken, and always near. This is the moment where you stop looking for something bigger and recognize the miracle that's already before you. You've asked for signs, for confirmations, for divine proof that I'm real, that I care, that I'm listening to your every cry. You searched for something dramatic, something that would shake the earth beneath your feet, something that would leave no doubt in your mind that I am present. But I need you to understand, child, that the sign you've been asking for has been right here all along. It's my presence, standing beside you, unwavering and eternal. This moment, right here, is the sign you've been waiting for. The signs you've sought in the world, the miracles, the heavenly messages, the confirmations from people. They are all good, but they were never meant to replace the simplest, most profound truth. I am with you, and that truth is the greatest sign of all. You've wanted something more tangible, something your eyes could see, something your mind could measure. But I've been showing you the one thing that matters most, my constant love and my constant nearness. The greatest miracle isn't always the extraordinary that happens around you. It's the extraordinary presence of God in the midst of your ordinary life. That is the sign. In your desperation for answers, you may have missed the fact that I have already been answering you, not with signs in the sky, but with the steady rhythm of my presence. Every time you breathe, that's me. Every time your heart beats, that's my life flowing through you. Every time you take another step, that's me sustaining you. I am the sign, child. I am the evidence of my own love, walking with you in every moment. The world tells you to seek outward validation, to look for signs in the visible. But I tell you, look inside. Look at how I've been walking with you through the highs and the lows. Look at how I've been lifting you up, even when you didn't feel it. My presence is a sign that you are never alone, that I haven't abandoned you, and that I will never leave you to walk through the storms of life on your own. You wanted proof. You've got it. I've been right here, all along. My nearness is the greatest sign I can give you. Every day you walk through life, there is a quiet miracle happening in the background, the miracle of my steady companionship, my unbroken attention. I didn't come to give you just a moment of comfort and then disappear. I came to be the constant presence you can rely on, the sign that you are always held, always known, always loved. It may not seem like much to the world, but to you, it's everything. The world doesn't see the invisible miracles of my love, but you can feel them. Every act of grace, every word of encouragement that echoes in your heart, every feeling of peace that overwhelms you at the most unexpected times, that's the sign. I am your sign, and my love is the greatest proof you could ever need. Listen, this is urgent, because too often you've looked outside for the answers you already carry inside. I am here with you, in the room, in the space, in this moment, from afar. You don't need to go searching for something trying to hide. I am the answer to every question you've asked. Your shoulders. You've looked for signs in the distance, silently begging for relief beyond your reach. You've learned how to function under pressure, and that's the sign I've been waiting for you to see. How to keep moving forward for proof while feeling like something inside you is sinking. The proof is not in the spectacular. The proof is in the fact that I am with you in the quiet. You were never created to carry the very room where you're sitting now. You've been holding so much, so stop waiting for something else to confirm my love. Fears you've tried to control, all the confirmation you need in the fact that I am right no matter how hard you try. Never leaving. It's been piling up, never forsaking you, hasn't it? That is the greatest sign of all. Pushed your pain behind the curtain of daily tasks when the weight is pressing deeper with every hour. I've been watching for rest, not, and I know what that feels like, to carry something so heavy it starts changing how you walk, how you think, even how you hope. That's why I've stepped into this very moment with a personal mission, to take that weight off of you. Let me ask you something only your soul can answer. How long will you keep carrying what's breaking you inside? How many more days will you wear a mask while the weight drains your strength behind the scenes? I'm not asking you to fix it all. I'm not even expecting you to explain it all. I'm just asking you to release it, to place it in my hands, the hands that know how to hold without crushing, the hands that mend without delay, the hands that never let go once they've taken hold of you. You weren't made to bear heartbreak by yourself. You weren't meant to face the future alone. You weren't designed to internalize everything until you feel numb. I didn't wire you to break silently. I shaped you for connection with me. And that's why I'm here, offering to carry the weight that's been quietly destroying your peace. You don't need to be strong right now. You just need to surrender. Let go of what's been slowly pulling you under. Let go before it convinces you that heaviness is your new normal. You've tried everything: distraction, busyness, shutting people out, telling yourself to get over it. But the burden never lifts, does it? Because no earthly method can solve a spiritual wound. This kind of heaviness isn't about circumstances, it's about weariness of the soul. And that's my specialty. I heal what you can't name. I restore what you thought was permanently damaged. But it starts with one simple act: giving me what's been too heavy for too long. Hear me, because this is crucial. I'm not here to judge the fact that you're weary. I came because I saw it, and I couldn't stand to watch you collapse. I've been beside you through every sleepless night, every quiet breakdown, every forced breath through the pain. I haven't left you. I've been positioning myself to lift what's crushing your spirit. And now I'm ready. I'm not asking you to drop it perfectly. I just need you to open your hands. Release control. Trust that I can handle what you've been hiding, and that I want to. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not a failure because you can't carry it anymore. You're human. You're loved. And you're seen by me. And today, I'm reaching with love, not to point out your limits, but to exchange your weight for my strength. I never designed you to be the one holding everything together. That was never your role. It's always been mine, and I gladly take it. So right now, take a breath. Not one filled with anxiety, but one filled with release. I'm here. I'm present. I'm ready to take what's been making your soul tremble. You don't have to carry it into tomorrow. You don't even have to hold it through the next hour. Hand it over. The sorrow, the shame, the questions, the responsibilities, all of it. I will carry it because I love you, and because I see the heaviness on your heart. You've carried it long enough. Now it's my turn. Don't ignore this moment, because what I'm offering right now is what your spirit has been silently craving. Fear has been gripping parts of your heart that were meant to rest. It's invaded rooms within your soul where trust should live. You've been walking carefully, as if something could break at any second, unsure, hesitant, anticipating disaster before joy even has a chance to enter. But I'm here now, not to scold you for that fear, but to offer a sacred exchange. I want to take what's been tormenting you and give you something the world can't give: peace that goes deeper than the panic, calm that overrides chaos, stillness that doesn't rely on perfect conditions. You've lived too long trying to manage your fear on your own. You've buried it under busyness, disguised it with logic, and numbed it with distractions. But none of it has truly healed you. And that's because fear can't be conquered by pretending it's not there. It can only be replaced. And I'm the only one who can make that exchange complete. I won't force it. I won't rip it from your hands. But if you're willing, even just for a moment, to let me hold what's been haunting you, I will give you something far greater in return. I will settle your soul. Fear comes in waves, doesn't it? Sometimes it rushes in all at once, and sometimes it creeps in so slowly you don't realize how much it's taken from you until you feel depleted. But no matter how it's entered, I'm here to remove it. Gently. Completely. Permanently. My peace is not a temporary feeling. It's not based on circumstances improving or people behaving. My peace is built on me, on the unchanging truth that I am in control, that I am for you, and that I have already gone ahead of you to prepare what you fear the most. I know what fear has told you. It's whispered that something bad is always around the corner. It's convinced you to expect loss, anticipate rejection, and brace yourself for the worst. It's turned your mind into a battleground, your decisions into dilemmas, your nights into endless rehearsals of what if. But that isn't how you were created to live. You were never meant to live in fight or flight. You were designed to walk in assurance, in confidence, anchored by peace that doesn't make sense to the world but makes perfect sense to me. Let me speak directly to your heart. You are safe with me. And I don't just mean physically. I mean emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You don't have to guard yourself from me. You don't have to put up walls or present a polished version of yourself. I know your internal struggles. I see the overthinking. I hear the thoughts you wish you could silence. And I'm not intimidated by them. I'm not disappointed. I'm simply offering something greater: rest, inner calm, a quiet heart, a steady spirit, peace that doesn't vanish when the world shakes. You've been strong for so long, but I'm not asking you to stay strong. I'm asking you to be open. Open to handing over what you were never meant to carry. Open to receiving what you've long thought was unreachable. My peace is not distant. It's already entering the atmosphere around you, even now. The more you release, the more I pour in. And there is no limit to what I can pour. This is critical, because if fear remains, it will continue to silence your joy, paralyze your decisions, and rob you of rest. But I didn't come to let fear win. I came to win you back from the things that have stolen your serenity. I came to rewrite the story fear's been narrating. I came to restore the calm you haven't felt in a long time. So here's what I'm asking: give me your worry, and I will give you my peace. Give me the fear, and I'll replace it with certainty that you are held, protected, and loved beyond comprehension. You don't have to understand everything to trust me. You just have to let go of what's been weighing you down and allow me to take its place. My peace will carry you through what once frightened you. My peace will plant stability where fear once ruled. And my peace, not shallow, not fleeting, will become your anchor. Let me settle your soul. I came to trade, and I'm ready now. Are you? Pause for a moment and really hear me. I see the exhaustion that goes deeper than what the world can see. You've carried the weight of your day-to-day life, performing the tasks expected of you, fulfilling the roles that others need you to fill. But there's something no one else knows. There's a fatigue in your soul, a weariness that doesn't show up in your words or actions. You've been drained, not just by the demands of the world, but by the heaviness of unspoken burdens, unresolved fears, and emotional exhaustion. And I want you to know, child, that I see it. I see the tiredness that hides behind the mask you wear, the silence that follows each breath, the burden that presses down on your spirit even when your body is still. You've been running on empty for longer than you should have. The things that once brought you joy now feel like obligations. The energy you once had to give now seems like it's been used up, leaving only the shadow of yourself behind. I know what it feels like to be drained in ways that no one else can understand. I know what it's like to feel as though you've given all you have to others, leaving nothing left for yourself. And I need you to hear this. You don't have to keep going this way. I'm not here to criticize you for being tired. I'm here to tell you to just push through it. I'm here to offer you something different. Rest for your soul. It's a rest that doesn't just come from sleep. It's a peace that goes beyond physical relaxation. I've come to take the weight off your shoulders, to lift the burden that's been dragging your spirit down. I am not a God who demands endless energy from you. I am a God who invites you to rest in my presence. In the quiet of this moment, I'm inviting you to release the pressure, to surrender the control that's been keeping you in this cycle of exhaustion. You thought that you had to keep pushing, keep striving, keep meeting expectations, your own and others. But I've never asked you to be anything other than what I created you to be. And what I created you to be isn't someone who wears out from the weight of life. I created you to walk in peace, to live with purpose, and to move with the assurance that you are not alone in this journey. So, hear this now. The tiredness you feel is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you need me. You were never meant to carry the burdens of this world on your own. You were meant to walk with me, to rest in my arms, to find strength in my presence. When you're tired, that's when I step in and give you what you cannot find within yourself. I offer you not just the rest of sleep, but the peace that restores your spirit, the comfort that fills every empty space, the renewal that revives the parts of you that no one can see. This is urgent because you've been carrying things that have been wearing you down, and I've been waiting for you to surrender them to me. You've tried to manage it all on your own, but it's not working, is it? You're still tired. You're still running out of energy. And you're still feeling like there's no relief in sight. That's because you're not meant to carry it all. You were meant to rely on me. I am the one who brings rest. I am the one who provides strength when you feel weak. I am the one who lifts you up when you can't stand. You've tried everything to get your energy back, to find your way back to peace, but it hasn't worked. That's because peace isn't something you can manufacture on your own. It's a gift from me, and I'm offering it to you right now. I'm not here to ask more of you. I'm here to give you what you need to move forward, not with exhaustion, but with strength, not with fear, but with confidence, not with worry, but with peace. I've come to carry your burdens, to shoulder the weight that's been crushing you, to take the exhaustion from your soul and fill you with the rest that only I can give. So listen carefully. I know you're tired. I know you're weary. But I have come to offer you rest. It's not a rest that comes from escape. It's a rest that comes from trusting in my presence, from surrendering your need to control, from letting go of the things that have been draining you. You don't have to keep carrying them. I'm here to carry them for you. And in return, I'll give you rest. Not just for your body, but for your soul. I know the moments when you felt unheard, the quiet agony when you asked the same questions over and over, hoping someone, anyone, would answer. But child, listen to this truth. I've been listening all along. When you looked up to the ceiling, wondering if your prayers were just whispers in the dark, I was already present, holding every word you couldn't speak. I was there in your silence, your doubt, and your confusion. The walls you've built around your heart in an attempt to protect yourself. I see them. But I also see your longing for answers, for reassurance, for some sign that you're not alone in the struggle. You are not alone. I want to speak directly to that part of you that wonders if your voice has ever mattered, that part of you that feels as though your cries have fallen on deaf ears. I've heard you. Not only have I heard you, but I've been responding in ways that you may not have recognized, waiting for you to see that I've been active all along. I have been in the quiet, in the pauses, in the moments when you couldn't find the right words. When the weight of your frustration made you feel like giving up, that's when I moved closest to you. I have always been listening, and I always will be. Every question you've asked, every fear you've expressed, every plea for help, I have heard it. You might have thought it was too small, too insignificant to matter. You might have thought that the depth of your pain was beyond understanding, but I understand. And I care. I have never once turned a deaf ear to your heart. I have been beside you, even when it felt like you were standing alone. My love does not ignore the small, quiet moments. I don't dismiss the things that break you on the inside, even when you think no one is watching. I see you, and I listen. Always. This is urgent, because I need you to understand the power of your voice in my presence. Even when you felt invisible, your soul's cry was heard. Even when you couldn't find the words to pray, I was already answering. Sometimes my answers aren't loud, sometimes they don't come in the form of immediate relief. But every prayer you've whispered, every cry of frustration, hath been met with love, with action, with provision. I've been behind the scenes, shifting things, preparing answers in ways you don't always see, all because I love you, and I care about the deepest longings of your heart. You've wrestled with the feeling of being unheard, and in those moments, the enemy has tried to convince you that I've abandoned you. But that's not true. The silence you felt wasn't an absence of my presence. It was the sacred space where I was working on your behalf, preparing a future that's far greater than the frustrations of today. This is the season where I want you to trust that I've been listening. Not just listening from a distance, but intimately involved in the details of your life. There is no question too small for my attention, no moment too insignificant for my intervention. I need you to hear me now, child. You are heard. I hear the cries of your heart when no one else is around. I hear the unspoken prayers, the fears you dare not speak aloud, the desires you think are too much to ask. And I answer them all, not in your timing, but in my perfect timing. Trust that my silence is not my absence. My silence is my presence, guiding, comforting, and working behind the scenes. I am not distant. I am near. Always. So when you feel like you're crying out into the void, when you look at the ceiling in frustration and wonder if anyone's listening, know that I am. And not just listening with the intent to answer, but listening with the intent to act. I don't just hear your words, I see your heart. I know the depth of your longing, and I've already started moving on your behalf. Let this truth sink into your heart right now. I hear you, even when you don't have the strength to speak. There have been countless nights when the weight of your day left you drained, when your body begged for rest but your spirit still carried the burden of unspoken thoughts, unresolved concerns, and quiet prayers. You've whispered them in the dark, not sure if they ever reached my ears. But child, hear this. I was listening. Every sigh, every half-formed prayer, every single word you muttered in the quiet of your exhaustion, I heard it all. You didn't need to gather strength to speak perfectly or eloquently. I heard you in your vulnerability. I heard you in your weariness. You've wondered if your prayers have been effective, if your tired words could really make a difference. And the answer is yes. Your prayers are never wasted. Even the moments when you thought you didn't have enough energy to pray, I knew your heart. I understood every groan, every desperate sigh, and every unspoken desire. You may not have been able to find the right words in those moments of tiredness, but I don't need perfect words. I need your heart, and I've always had that. Your heart speaks more loudly to me than any well-crafted prayer. Your honesty, your openness, your vulnerability, that's what moves my heart. I want you to know that I've been with you in every moment of frustration, every night of restless sleep, every hour you spent trying to find peace and relief from the weight of your worries. When you lay in bed, your mind racing, too tired to keep thinking and too restless to sleep, I was there. I've always been there. I've been holding your thoughts together when they seemed to scatter. I've been calming your spirit when it trembled. You haven't been alone in those moments, even when you felt isolated and overwhelmed. My love surrounded you, even when you couldn't feel it. Let me speak this over you now. Your prayers are heard, and I am working on your behalf. You didn't need to find the perfect words because I knew exactly what you needed. I knew the depth of your exhaustion, the heaviness of your burden, and I was there to meet you in your weakness. I'm not moved by the perfect delivery of your prayers. I'm moved by the heart behind them, by your trust, your longing, and your honesty. I hear you when you can't find the strength to speak. I hear you when your voice is weak. I hear you when your faith feels small. And I act, not because of your strength, but because of my great love for you. You struggled with wondering if I truly hear you. Maybe it's because you've compared your prayers to those of others, wondering if you're doing it right. But there is no right way to pray. There is only the sincerity of your heart. And your heart has always been heard by me. The moment you opened up to me, even in your weakest moments, I was there, ready to respond, ready to bring peace, ready to answer. Your prayers may have felt small or insignificant to you, but they matter to me in ways you can't even begin to understand. Tonight, I want to reassure you, I've heard you. I've heard every cry, every worry, every thought you've whispered in desperation. You don't need to fear that I've missed anything. You don't need to worry that your prayers aren't enough. They are enough because your heart is enough. I've heard your requests, your fears, your dreams, and I'm moving on your behalf. Trust that I am answering in ways you may not see yet, but in ways that will shape your future for the better. This is an urgent invitation for you to rest in the truth that I have always been listening. There's no need to carry the weight of wondering if I've heard you, or if your prayers have been effective. I am already at work in the areas you've asked me to touch, and I will bring peace to your soul that surpasses understanding. So let go of the anxiety that says you haven't prayed enough, or that you need to try harder. Simply trust that I am listening, not just in your strong moments, but in your weary ones, too. Listen to me, child, because this is a truth you need to embrace deep within your spirit. You are seen. You are not forgotten. I see you, not just in your victories, not just in your good moments, but in your hidden places, in the quiet corners where you feel unseen and overlooked. I see the parts of you that no one else knows about. I see your heart when it feels overwhelmed, when you're unsure of where you stand in this world. I see your mind, tangled in thoughts that no one else understands. And I want you to know that even in those places, I am close, and I have never lost sight of you. There have been times when you felt as though you've been overlooked, left behind in a world full of noise and attention-seeking people. Maybe you've watched others being celebrated, applauded, or recognized, while you felt invisible in the background. But that feeling of being unseen is a lie. I see you. I've been watching you all along, not with judgment, not with disappointment, but with love. I've been close to you even when you thought you were alone. I've seen you hold things together when no one else could see the weight you carried. I've seen your quiet sacrifices, your moments of strength that no one noticed. And I want to remind you, you are not invisible to me. Too many people go through life feeling like they are insignificant, like their presence doesn't matter. You might have felt that way at times. Maybe you thought that no one truly understood the weight you carry, or that you would never be seen for who you really are. But hear me now, I see you in your entirety. I see the parts of you that you've hidden away, the parts you thought were too broken to be known. I see your potential, your heart, your soul, and I love you for who you are, not for what you've done or how much you've accomplished. You are not forsaken. Even when people have walked away, even when promises have been broken, I remain. I have never and will never forsake you. I am the one who stays when everyone else leaves. When you felt abandoned, when you felt like you had no one left to turn to, I've been right beside you, waiting for you to recognize my presence. I never walk away from those I love. I don't leave you to wander in your pain. I enter it with you. I am here, I am present, and I am walking through every storm you face. The world may tell you that if you aren't noticed, if you aren't praised, if you aren't acknowledged by others, then your worth is less. But I say to you, your worth is unshaken. You are worthy because I say you are. You are valuable because I created you. Your worth is not defined by the fleeting opinions of others, nor is it determined by the applause you receive or the attention you get. It's determined by my love, which never changes and never fades, and that love calls you beloved. Let me speak this truth into your soul, child, because it's vital you know it now. You are seen. You are known. You are loved beyond measure. Even when you feel small in the eyes of the world, you are significant to me. Your life has meaning, not because of your accomplishments, but because of who you are to me. You are my precious creation, a person I value deeply, a soul I cherish. When you feel unseen, like you're just another face in the crowd, know this. I see the real you, the one who struggles, the one who questions, the one who longs for connection. I see the parts of you that are tired, the parts that are broken, and the parts that still hope. I see all of you, and I love all of you. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not forsaken. You are my child, and that is enough. This is urgent because you need to start recognizing your worth, the way I see it. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop measuring your value by what others say or do. You are more than enough, just as you are, because my love defines your worth. My love is constant, it's unchanging, and it never fails. Even if you feel like no one notices your struggles, I notice. Even if you feel like you've been overlooked, I see everything. And I am here, present with you every step of the way. You are not alone. Right now, I want you to breathe deeply and remember this truth. Each breath of yours matters, and I've been holding them all. When you felt overwhelmed, when the panic seemed to rise and steal your peace, I was there. Every time your chest tightened, every time you found yourself struggling to exhale because of worry, I counted it. Every moment you felt the weight of fear pushing in, I was close, quietly witnessing your struggle and standing with you, ready to release the grip that anxiety had on you. Child, I want you to understand something so powerful. I am not distant from you when you feel overwhelmed. I'm not waiting for you to manage your fear on your own. I am present, standing beside you, ready to bring peace into the spaces where anxiety tries to rule. You've been carrying more than you were ever designed to carry, haven't you? You've been holding on to worries about tomorrow, frustrations from today, and regrets from yesterday. It's been adding up bit by bit until it feels like too much to bear. But I need you to hear this. It's not too much for me. It never was. You are not meant to carry this weight. You weren't designed to live under the constant strain of anxious thoughts. And that's why I'm standing here, offering something that goes beyond your ability to control your circumstances. I'm offering you the peace that only I can provide. A peace that doesn't depend on what happens tomorrow. A peace that isn't shaken by your circumstances. A peace that surpasses every fear and every worry. This is not just a nice thought or a hopeful wish. This is my promise to you. When you are weary, when you are worn out from the constant fight to maintain peace, I will step in. I will hold your breath steady. I will calm your racing heart. I will settle the storm inside of you. You don't have to fight this alone, child. I've seen every tear that has fallen because of the anxiety you couldn't explain, and I have been there, standing beside you, never leaving. I've seen the battles you fought silently, the worries that you thought were too small to share with anyone else. You didn't think anyone could understand, but I do. I've been there, and I am here now. Let me reassure you, I am your refuge. I am your safe place. When the world feels chaotic, when the weight of the unknown presses in and the uncertainty feels unbearable, I am your peace. I am the anchor in the storm. The very breath you take is not one you take alone. I am with you. I am moving in your situation, even when you can't see it. I am steady, even when everything else around you feels uncertain. I am the constant, unshakable presence that is always near. Listen to me, child. You don't need to struggle to find peace. It's already been given to you. I've already placed it within your reach. It's not about waiting for the chaos to stop. It's about inviting my peace into the midst of the chaos. It's about knowing that no matter how loud the world gets, no matter how much fear tries to take over, I am the stillness that calms your soul. You may not see the end of your struggles yet, but I see it. I'm with you in the process, walking beside you through every challenge, and I will give you the strength to keep going. Even when you can't see the way forward, I will guide you. You have been carrying the weight of things that were never meant for you to carry. You've been holding on to worries about the future, regrets about the past, and fears about what may come. But now, I'm asking you to release them into my hands. Trust me with them. Trust that I will handle the things you cannot control, and that I will give you peace in exchange for your anxiety. You don't need to carry this burden any longer. It's not yours to bear alone. I will give you rest. I will renew your strength, and I will bring you peace. As you take a moment to breathe deeply, know that every breath you take is evidence of my faithfulness. You are not alone in this. You are not forgotten. You are seen, heard, and loved. You are held in my presence. So release your worries. Let my peace settle in. You don't have to carry it anymore. I'm here to carry it with you. Listen closely, child, because this is a truth you need to embrace right now. Your past does not disqualify you from my love. Your mistakes are not barriers. I see the weight of the decisions that still haunt you. I see the choices that feel like heavy chains around your spirit. I see the moments of regret and sorrow that still threaten to define you. But I want you to understand something fundamental about my love. It does not stop because of your past. It does not retreat when you think your mistakes are too great to be forgiven. I stepped over your past to be with you in this moment. I know you've wrestled with shame, with the heavy burden of past choices. You've tried to outrun the echoes of old decisions, but no matter how far you've come, they keep chasing you, don't they? You've been haunted by the things you wish you could undo. Maybe you've even felt like you're not worthy of the good things that could come into your life because of what you've done. But that's not how I see you. I see you as my child, the one I created with purpose, the one who is forgiven and loved beyond measure. The enemy wants to remind you of your mistakes. It wants to tell you that your past is too messy, too broken, too far gone for any healing to take place. But I'm here to tell you, I am greater than your past. My love is more powerful than any regret, more redemptive than any mistake. I didn't come to point out where you failed. I came to help you walk through it, to redeem what has been lost, and to restore what has been broken. You don't need to keep carrying the guilt and shame that the world tried to place on you. You don't need to keep letting the mistakes of yesterday define the person you are today. You are not defined by what you've done, but by what I've done for you. I took your mistakes to the cross. I carried your burdens in ways you will never fully understand. When you felt like you were drowning in your guilt, I was there, holding you above the waves. When you thought you had nowhere to go, I stood beside you, reminding you that there is no place you can go where my love cannot reach. Your past does not keep you from my embrace. I chose to stand with you, not in spite of your mistakes, but because I knew who you were always meant to be, a child of God, forgiven, redeemed, and restored. You spent too long allowing your past to write your future, but I am here to rewrite your story. I am not concerned with the things you did before you knew me. I'm concerned with the person you are becoming. I see the depth of your heart, and I know the intentions you have now. You've been forgiven, child, and you no longer need to live in the shadows of yesterday. The chains are broken. The prison doors are open. You are free. And it's time to step into the life I've called you to. The life that is full of hope, peace, and love, not anchored to your past, but lifted into your future. It's time for you to forgive yourself, as I have already forgiven you. It's time to let go of the lies that tell you that you are too far gone. You are not too far gone, for I love. I came to set the captives free, and I've come to set you free from the burden of your past. The past is no longer a chain. It is a stepping stone to the future I have for you. This is urgent, because I want you to stop living in the shadows of your former self. I've brought you into the light, and it's time to walk in that freedom. Don't let guilt steal the joy of your present. Don't let shame prevent you from moving forward. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. Your mistakes may have taught you, but they do not own you. The only thing that owns you now is my love. Let go. Let go of the mistakes, the guilt, the shame. Let go of the thoughts that say you aren't worthy of grace. You are more than enough for me, right now, just as you are. And you are never alone, not in your past, not in your present, and never in your future. Listen to my heart for you. You don't need to hold it all together. I've watched you carry burdens that were never yours to carry, trying to be strong for others, trying to be everything for everyone, while silently feeling the weight of it all. You've convinced yourself that strength means hiding your pain, pretending that everything is fine when it's not. But child, that is not strength. True strength comes from vulnerability, from surrender, from letting go and allowing me to carry what you were never meant to. You are not weak because you feel tired. You are not broken because you have moments of doubt. You are human. And it's okay not to be okay sometimes. The world tells you to be strong, to push through, to keep going no matter what. But I didn't create you to live like that. I didn't design you to carry endless burdens without support, to walk through every storm with a smile while your heart is crying out for help. I see your heart, and I'm here to say, you don't need to pretend. You don't have to hide the struggle. You don't have to mask the tears. I'm not asking you to be perfect or to have it all figured out. I'm asking you to be real with me, to be honest about the weight you're carrying. Because in your honesty, in your vulnerability, I am ready to step in. I know you've been trying to keep it all together. You've been trying to be the rock for everyone around you, the one who always has the answers, the one who holds it all up. But you don't have it to be the rock. I am your rock. I am the one who holds everything together. You were never meant to hold the world on your shoulders. You were meant to lean on me. I've been waiting for you to come to me, not with all the answers, but with your heart open, with your true self laid bare, so I can step in and carry what you cannot. I want you to hear this now, and let it sink deep into your spirit. You don't have to pretend to be stronger than you are. You don't have to act like everything is fine when it isn't. It's okay to say, I need help. It's okay to admit that you are tired, that you are struggling, that you don't have it all figured out. Because that is where I come in. I come in when you reach the end of your strength, when you are finally ready to admit that you can't do it alone. That's when I step in and make you stronger, not by your own power, but by mine. The pressure to appear strong is not from me. I never demanded perfection from you. I never asked you to carry burdens alone. I asked you to walk with me, to lean on me, and to trust that I will sustain you. It's okay to fall apart. It's okay to need help. I will be there to lift you up, every time. This is urgent, Because the longer you carry the weight of the world on your own, the longer you'll feel burden. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel light, to feel free, to feel the peace that comes from knowing that you don't have to do it all by yourself. You were never meant to carry all that pressure. I've come to remove it. I've come to give you rest. But in order to experience that rest, you have to be willing to let go. Let go of the pretense. Let go of the idea that you have to be strong all the time. Let go of the fear that if you admit you're struggling, you'll be seen as weak. You are not weak for needing help. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not weak for asking for peace. You are strong in your surrender. You are strong in your willingness to let go and let me hold you. So right now, child, take a deep breath. You don't need to hold it all together anymore. I'm here. You don't need to pretend. I'm ready to take the weight from your shoulders, to carry it for you, to give you the peace and rest that you so desperately need. Let go, and let me fill you with the strength that only comes from me. You may not understand the depth of what I'm saying right now, but hear this. I see you in the quiet moments. I see you when no one else is looking, when the world has turned its attention elsewhere, and when you are left to face the weight of your internal struggles alone. You've cried in private, fought battles in silence, and endured hurt that no one else even knows about. And in those moments, I was with you, not as an observer, but as your savior, your protector, your comforter. I didn't just come for your outward praise. I came for your brokenness. I came for the pain that no one else can see, the hurt that you've buried so deep that you think no one will ever understand. But I understand. I've always understood, and I've always been right here, standing by you, waiting for you to invite me into those hidden parts of your heart. You've been convinced that your private pain disqualifies you from being seen or loved. You've tried to hide it, cover it, distract yourself from it, and pretend that everything is fine. But I see it all. I see the quiet desperation behind your eyes, the silent cries you keep tucked away, and the weight that you've been carrying for far too long. I didn't come to love you only when you're strong or when you're whole. I came to love you in your weakness, in your pain, in your brokenness. I came to step into those private, painful moments and offer you the love and healing you need. The world may celebrate your victories, applaud your achievements, and admire your outward strength, but I am here for what happens when no one is watching. I am here to heal the parts of you that have been bruised and battered, to restore the brokenness that no one else has taken the time to see. You are not forgotten in your pain. You are seen. And more than that, you are loved beyond measure, exactly as you are. Not because of your accomplishments or the way you present yourself to others, but because I see the real you, the one who struggles, the one who hurts, the one who is tired of pretending. You've been carrying a weight that was never meant for you. That weight has kept you isolated, convinced that you're alone in your pain. But I am here to tell you that you don't have to carry it any longer. You've been trying to be strong in your own strength, but I am the one who will give you strength. I am the one who will heal your heart. I am the one who will restore your peace, even in the midst of your pain. You don't have to hide your hurt from me. I already know it, and I am ready to walk with you through it. This is an urgent invitation for you to stop hiding from the pain and start allowing me to heal you. You don't have to be ashamed of what you're going through. You don't have to pretend that it doesn't hurt. I am the God who is with you in the mess, in the struggle, in the quiet moments when no one is looking. And in those moments, I bring comfort, peace, and healing. I know it's hard to trust others with your pain, but you can trust me. I will never turn away from you. I will never judge you for what you're going through. I am here to carry it for you. You don't need to be perfect to be loved by me. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to pretend that you're strong when you're feeling weak. I am the God of your private pain, and I came to heal you from the inside out. Trust me with your heart, with your hurts, with the things that no one else sees. I am with you, and I will restore what has been broken. You are not alone, not even in the darkest moments, and I will bring light to the places that feel so lost. Let me be the God of your private pain. Don't try to fight it on your own. Don't try to carry it alone. I'm here, waiting to feel what's hurting. You are seen. You are loved. And you are not forgotten. Child, I see the strength you show to the world, even when your soul is aching inside. You've been wearing a mask of strength for so long that no one notices the cracks beneath it. They don't see the tears that come when you're alone, the pain that lingers even when you try to push it down. I know how you go through the motions, trying to keep everything together, smiling for others, pretending that you're okay when you feel like you're breaking inside. You've hidden your struggles, thinking that no one would understand, afraid that if they saw the real you, the broken you, the hurting you, they would turn away. But I need you to hear this now. I see you. I see the real you. The one who carries so much. The one who has learned to hide the tears. The one who holds it all together while silently fighting a battle within. You felt like you've had to keep everything to yourself, to hide your struggles because you don't want to burden anyone else. But child, you don't need to carry this weight alone. You've been thinking that if you just keep going, if you just smile through the pain, it will eventually get better. But that's not how healing works. Healing happens when you bring your brokenness to me, when you stop pretending to be okay and allow yourself to be fully seen. I didn't come to rescue the perfect versions of people. I came to heal the broken. I came for the hurting, for those who feel like they've lost their way, for the ones who try so hard to make it look easy when it's anything but easy. I understand the way you push your pain to the back of your mind when others are around, the way you force yourself to be the strong one when you feel like falling apart. But that's not true strength. True strength is found in surrender. It's found in bringing your brokenness to me, laying it down, and trusting that I can heal what no one else can see. You don't have to keep pretending. You don't have to keep smiling through the hurt. I see you behind the mask. I see the real you, and I love you just as you are. You don't have to hide from me. You don't have to carry this alone. Every time you've pushed the hurt down, every time you've held back your tears, I've been there. I've been standing with you, waiting for you to bring it all to me. The pain you think is too much, the burden you think is too heavy, I can carry it for you. You've been trying to manage everything on your own, but I am the one who can heal what you can't fix by yourself. You don't have to hold on to the weight of your struggles any longer. I didn't create you to bear the burden alone. You were never meant to walk through this life pretending to be fine when you're hurting. I am here, and I am ready to take it from you. Let this truth settle into your heart. You are not alone in your pain. I am with you, standing by you in the midst of your struggles. I'm not just here for the easy moments, the ones where everything is going well. I am here for the brokenness, for the moments when you feel like you can't take another step. I am here for the real you, the one behind the smile. And I will never turn away from you. I will never judge you for your vulnerability. I will never forsake you because of your hurt. You are not too broken for my love. You are not too much for my grace. I will meet you in the mess, and I will walk with you until healing comes. The strength you've been trying to show to the world, it doesn't have to come from your own effort anymore. It comes from trusting in me. It comes from acknowledging your need for healing, your need for comfort, your need for rest. And I am here to give you all of that and more. You don't have to keep pretending to be okay. You don't have to wear the mask anymore. Bring your real self to me. The hurt, the pain, the brokenness, and I will heal you. I will restore you. I will make you whole again. Child, I know what you've kept buried, the pain you've hidden in corners even you avoid looking at. There are wounds you've carried for so long they've begun to feel like part of who you are. Not the kind of pain you talk about openly. Not the kind others ask about. I'm speaking about the ache that surfaces when the noise dies down and you're left alone with your thoughts. That hollow ache that pulls on your soul, the one you've trained yourself to ignore in front of others. I came for that. I didn't come just to celebrate with you in moments of joy. I came to kneel beside you in the raw spaces where your heart still bleeds. You've gotten good at functioning, haven't you? Good at smiling when someone asks how you are. Good at giving while running on empty. Good at suppressing the emotions that come flooding in when no one else is around. But I never asked you to be good at hiding. I never asked you to cope in isolation. I didn't create you to suffer behind smiles and carry private pain while displaying public strength. You've shown the world a version of yourself that looks intact, but I see past all of it. I see the version of you that wakes up tired of pretending. And that's the version I came to heal. There are things you've walked through that no one knows. Things you've never put into words because they are too heavy, too complicated, too painful. You think if you speak them, the weight will grow. But the opposite is true. What remains hidden keeps growing in the dark. And I want to bring light to it. Not to shame you, not to expose you, but to bring healing, peace, and freedom. I'm not afraid of your pain. I'm not shocked by your story. I'm not looking for the polished version of you. I want the real you, the one behind the curtain, the one that's been whispering, "Does anyone even see me?" Yes, child, I do. There's no part of your story too dark for me to redeem. There's no moment from your past I haven't already stepped into with grace. I'm not asking you to forget the pain. I'm asking you to let me into it. I'm not interested in religious appearances or rehearsed praises if they don't come from a heart that knows it can be real with me. I would rather sit with you in your silence than receive words you don't mean. I would rather weep with you in your sorrow than dance with a version of you pretending everything's fine. I came to be the God who sits with you in the silence, who holds you in the brokenness, and who doesn't walk away when the spotlight fades. Let me be clear. I came for the parts of you that you've been afraid to show. I came for the memories you avoid, the moments you relive with shame, the wounds you don't know how to explain. You heard about me being the God of miracles, the God of breakthroughs, the God of joy, and I am all those things. But I am also the God of grief, the God who kneels with you on the bathroom floor, the God who listens when your prayers turn into silence, the God who doesn't flinch when your voice trembles with pain. That is who I am. I am not too holy to hold your sorrow. I am not too divine to sit in your despair. I meet you there, and I love you there. This is urgent, not because I demand perfection, but because I want you to stop hiding from me. You've hidden long enough. Behind your roles, behind responsibilities, behind strength that was never meant to sustain you. But I came to show you a different way, the way of healing, of rest, of being fully known and fully loved. I came to cradle your pain, not criticize it. I came to whisper peace where torment has shouted. I came to be God in the places you thought were too messy, too sensitive, too broken for anyone to enter. So open the door, child. Let me into the parts of you that still hurt. You don't have to pretend with me. You never did. I came not for appearances, I came for you. The real you. The hurting you. The one behind the smile. And I'm not leaving. I see the pressure you've been under, even when no one else seems to notice. You've become the one everyone turns to. The one who's expected to be strong, to be calm, to always have the answers. You're the one who listens, the one who carries, the one who fixes. And somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that there wasn't time or space for you to fall apart, that your pain could wait, that your needs didn't matter as much as theirs. So you've learned to press pause on your own heart, to keep going when you're depleted, to keep serving when your soul is aching, to smile when your spirit is weary. But child, I see you, and now it's your turn to be held. You've shown up for others in ways they may never even realize. You've offered your strength when you barely had any left. You've spoken hope to others while privately battling discouragement yourself. You've helped others carry their load while yours kept growing heavier. And even when no one thanked you, even when no one noticed the cost of what you were doing, you kept going. Because that's who you are. Faithful, generous, dependable. But let me ask you something, gently and lovingly. When was the last time you let someone show up for you? When was the last time you exhaled and allowed yourself to rest? Truly rest, without guilt. You've been pouring out and pouring out, but even the strongest vessels need to be filled again. Even the most compassionate hearts need to be comforted. Even those who hold others need someone to hold them. That's why I'm here. Not to ask more of you, but to give to you. I've watched you support everyone else while neglecting yourself. I've seen you wipe away your own tears quickly because there were others who needed your help. But right now, I want you to know, you are my priority. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. My child. My beloved. The one I see when the world looks the other way. This is not weakness. This is not selfishness. This is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty soul, and you weren't made to run on fumes. You need rest, not just for your body, but for your spirit. You need comfort, not just a kind word, but a deep healing that reaches the places no one else knows about. And I am here to give you that. Let me hold you the way you held others. Let me speak peace over your heart the way you've comforted those around you. Let me remind you that it's okay to not have everything together. I already knew you were tired. You don't need to impress me. You don't need to pretend in my presence. I already see the layers you've kept hidden, the disappointment, the frustration, the loneliness beneath your responsibilities. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not uncomfortable with your pain. I'm not frustrated by your exhaustion. I'm here to lift what you can't carry anymore. I'm here to take you out of survival mode and into sacred rest. I didn't design you to live stretched thin. I didn't call you to burn out. I called you to abide, to be renewed by my presence, to walk in peace, to live from overflow, not from depletion. This moment is sacred, because I'm asking you to trade the role of the rescuer for a while and let me rescue you. You've carried so much. Let me carry you now. Let me fill the empty spaces. Let me breathe new life into your weary soul. You've been strong, stronger than anyone knows. But now is the time to be still and let your Savior hold you. I don't want your performance. I want your heart. Not the version of you that's always doing. The version of you that's just being. Being real. Being vulnerable. Being human. You've held it together long enough, child. It's time to fall into the arms of the one who never lets go. It's time to be nurtured, to be healed, to be restored. You don't have to prove anything here. You don't have to hold anyone else up right now. Just be held. I've got you, and I'm not letting go. Stop thinking you have to fix yourself before you let me come close. That thought, the one that tells you you're not ready for me yet, that you have to heal yourself, change yourself, or become more worthy, that's not my voice. That's the voice of shame, of fear, of lies that have tried to convince you I only show up for the perfect. But that's not the truth. I came to you in the mess. I walked straight into your confusion, your questions, your chaos, because that's where love proves itself real. You spent too long believing that once you get it together, then you'll finally be ready to receive me. But I never asked you to get it together without me. I never asked you to perform. I never demanded a version of you that's polished and presentable before I would step in. No, I chose you at your lowest. I loved you when your heart was tangled and your mind was exhausted. I showed up not after you cleaned the wounds, but while they were still open. That's the kind of God I am. Not distant, not conditional, but deeply present in the now. You've hidden from others, maybe even from yourself, the parts you've deemed too messy, the patterns you can't seem to break, the behaviors you regret, the pieces of your story you wish you could erase. But I see them. I know them. And still I came. I came not after the healing, but before it. I didn't wait for progress. I came because of pain. I came because I love you as you are. And I know that real transformation doesn't start with your effort. It starts with my presence. You don't need to climb out of the pit before reaching for my hand. I descended into it with you. I stood in the dirt. I sat in the silence. I placed myself in the space where you thought no one would ever show up. Why? Because you matter that much to me. Not just the future version of you. Not just the better version. You, right here, right now, in all your current struggle, in all your uncertainty, in all your contradiction, or love. What I want from you is not a performance. What I long for is relationship. You've been trying to earn what I already gave freely. You've been striving for love that's already yours. That's why it's felt exhausting, because you're chasing something that's been standing next to you the whole time. I'm not asking for your perfection. I'm asking for your permission. Permission to love you. Permission to walk with you. Permission to be close while you're still figuring it all out. This is urgent, because the longer you wait for someday, the more you delay the healing I want to begin today. There's nothing you've done that scares me, nothing you struggle with that will ever make me leave. I'm not here with conditions. I'm here with compassion. I'm not holding back my love until you get it right. I'm pouring it out now, in this moment, in this condition, in this version of you. And here's what I need you to know. Transformation begins in the place where you let me love you without trying to earn it. You don't change to be loved. You're loved, and that's what changes you. My love doesn't wait for your perfection. My love produces the healing you need. So stop trying to fix yourself before letting me in. Let me in so I can help you heal. Let me into the messy middle. Let me walk with you through the process. You were never meant to do this alone. I know the voices in your head have told you that you need to clean up, look right, behave better, try harder, before you're acceptable. But my voice says, come now, not come later, not come perfect. Just come. Come with your pain. Come with your doubt. Come with your baggage. Come with your past. I'll take you as you are. I already have. So stop hiding. Stop delaying. Let me embrace the real you. I didn't fall in love with a future version of you. I love you now, completely and unconditionally, eternally. And I came not because you were ready. I came because I couldn't bear to leave you as you are. That's the depth of my love. And that's why I'm here. I need you to pause right now and let these words sink in. You are not lacking. You've been questioning your worth, haven't you? Wondering if you measure up. Wondering if you're doing enough, being enough, giving enough. You've compared yourself to others, watched their progress, seen their applause, and quietly wondered why you don't feel like you belong in the same room. You've internalized criticism. You've rehearsed past failures. You've let doubt sit at the table of your thoughts. But child, I am here to tell you something holy. You have always been enough in my eyes. I didn't create you to be a copy of someone else. I didn't form you in the secret place only to see you spend your life doubting what I made. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, not conditionally, not occasionally, but completely. Every detail about you was woven with purpose. Your personality, your quirks, your voice, your heart. Even the parts you've questioned. Even the moments you've tried to hide. They matter to me. They belong in your story, and they are not mistakes. You've been trying so hard to prove your value, but I've never required you to earn what was already settled before you took your first breath. You've asked me silently, am I good enough? Especially in your low moments, especially when the expectations fell too high and the mistakes felt too frequent. But I need you to hear this. My love for you has never been based on performance. It's not rooted in how well you succeed or how little you stumble. It's rooted in who I am and how I see you. And how I see you is through eyes of grace, through the lens of eternity. I don't look at you and see failure. I see a masterpiece in progress. I see a soul learning, growing, enduring, becoming, and to me, that is enough. You've let the voices of this world define you. The ones that say you should be further along, doing more, shining brighter. You've believed that unless you hit the marks others celebrate, you're falling short. But child, I don't measure you by the world's standards. I don't love you based on how loud your success is or how flawless your journey appears. I love you because you're mine. And my love is steady, constant, unmoved by your seasons of doubt or your moments of insecurity. Let me ask you this. Who told you that you weren't enough? Who convinced you that your worth was tied to outcomes? Because I did. I called you chosen. I called you beloved. I called you my own. You were enough the moment I formed you. You were enough in the season where no one saw you. You were enough on the days you stumbled. And you are enough right now, even in your questioning, even in your searching. I know you try so hard to be the right kind of person, to meet expectations, to stay strong. I see your effort. I honor your heart. But I also want to lift the burden you've placed on yourself. The burden that says you have to do more to be worthy of love. That is not from me. My love isn't something you work for, it's something you live from. It's not a prize for the perfect. It's a promise to the present you, right here, as you are. This is urgent, because as long as you keep questioning your worth, you'll keep withholding joy from yourself. You'll keep second-guessing the gifts I've placed inside you. You'll keep shrinking when I've called you to stand tall. You'll keep waiting for permission that I've already given. You are enough because I say you are. You are enough because I made you. You are enough because my spirit lives in you. So stop searching for the approval of those who can't see the full picture of your heart. Stop believing the lie that you must achieve a certain version of yourself to be valuable. You are valuable now. You are worthy now. You are enough now. Not someday. Not later. Now. Let that truth free you. Let it fill the places where doubt has lived too long. Let it quiet the questions that have haunted your nights. You've always been enough to me. You still are. And you always will be. You've been waiting for something visible, something undeniable, a manifestation that makes everything clear. You've asked for signs from the heavens, for loud confirmations, for something that will remove all doubt and leave no room for uncertainty. But child, I want you to hear me now. The sign you're seeking is already here, already present. I am the sign you've been waiting for. I've been here, in this very moment, with you, close enough to feel, close enough to hear, close enough to touch your heart. This is not a coincidence. This is my presence, right here, right now, and it is the answer to every question you've been carrying. You've looked for answers in the wrong places, haven't you? You've searched for proof in circumstances, in others, in experiences, hoping for something external to confirm what your heart already knows. But I've been waiting for you to realize that what you're looking for has always been within reach. You don't need to look up to the sky or search through a book for a revelation. I am your revelation. I am the answer to every longing, every question, every prayer you've whispered. And I am here, right now, inviting you to recognize the truth. You've been seeking signs in all the wrong places, when the truth has been standing in front of you all along. You've asked, God, show me you. Show me your plan for my life. Show me that I'm on the right path. And I hear you, child. But I want you to understand, you've already been shown. I have revealed myself in every breath you take, in every moment you've walked through, in every person you've met, and in every experience, no matter how painful or joyful. I have been with you every step of the way. I've been the constant in the midst of your uncertainty, the quiet guide in your moments of doubt. My presence is the answer. It has always been the answer. And when you recognize this truth, you will see that the signs you've been waiting for were never as distant as you thought. This is crucial because so many of you keep searching for validation outside of what I've already shown you. You search for confirmation in the things you can see with your eyes, when my presence, which you can feel in your heart, is the greatest sign of all. You don't need something spectacular to prove I'm with you. My love for you is proof enough. My constant presence is the sign. My peace that settles in your heart, even in the chaos, is the sign. The way you're still standing after everything you've been through, that's the sign. So many of you keep waiting for something to shift externally, when I've been shifting your heart internally. You think that if the right things happen, if the right doors open, if the right people acknowledge you, then you'll have the confirmation you've been asking for. But I'm here to tell you, your confirmation doesn't come from things around you. It comes from within. It comes from knowing that I am with you, no matter what happens. Child, this moment is your sign. You've asked for confirmation, and here it is. I am speaking directly to your heart. I've always been close to you, even in the times you felt distant from me. My presence is your answer. My love is the proof you've been seeking. And the more you understand this truth, the more you'll see that every fear, every worry, every doubt you carry loses its power in the presence of my love. It's not in signs from the world that you will find peace. It's in my constant nearness. So now, let this sink deep into your spirit. You have been seen. You have been heard. And I am here with you, not just in moments of joy or success, but in every moment, even in the quiet. Your search for answers ends now. You've been seeking something outside of yourself, when the truth is, I've already given you the greatest sign of all, myself, in your heart. Right now, you've been watching the world around you, hoping something will change to give you relief, waiting for the stress to lift, for the situation to resolve, for the people around you to finally understand your heart. You've told yourself, if this would just get better, if that person would just apologize, if the uncertainty would just end, then you'd finally be able to breathe, to rest, to feel peace again. But child, what if I told you that real peace, lasting peace, has never been something you needed to find out there? What if the very thing you've been searching for has already been placed deep within you by me? Peace isn't the absence of problems. Peace isn't found in perfect timing, smooth circumstances, or flawless days. Peace is found in my presence. And because my presence is inside of you, so is my peace. That means you don't have to wait for the world to change for you to feel settled. You don't have to wait for clarity before you exhale. You don't have to wait for the tension around you to disappear before you can walk in calm. You have access to peace now, because you have access to me. You thought peace would come when things made sense, when everything aligned, when uncertainty turned into answers. But I want to offer you something better, peace that transcends understanding, a kind of rest that doesn't depend on outcomes, a quiet confidence that's not tied to what people do or don't do, a stillness that doesn't need every detail to be explained. That's the kind of peace I give, and I've been pouring it into your spirit even when your mind couldn't see it, even when your emotions were loud, even when everything around you seemed like chaos. I was depositing calm into your core. You may not feel it all the time. That doesn't mean it's not there. Sometimes peace grows like a whisper, not a shout. Sometimes it's buried under layers of fear or frustration, but it's still there, waiting to rise again. I want to help you uncover it. I want to teach you how to live from it. You don't need to search for the next answer, the next breakthrough, the next opportunity to relax. You need to draw from what I've already given you. When you said, I can't do this anymore, I leaned in and reminded you, I'm here. When you whispered, I just need rest, I whispered back, let me be your rest. When you asked, where is peace supposed to come from? I pointed to your own heart. Because I've made your heart my home. And where I dwell, peace lives. You've been looking for permission to let your guard down. You've been searching for signs that say it's finally safe to rest. But I'm telling you now, you don't need to wait for circumstances to give you that permission. I give it to you now. Rest doesn't begin when the world calms down. It begins when you return to me. again and again, and find that I never loved. It begins when you realize that I've never once withheld peace from you. I've just been waiting for you to receive it. This is critical because if you keep tying your inner peace to our control, you'll always feel like it's slipping through your fingers. But if you anchor your peace in me, in who I am, not in what happens, it can't be shaken. Not by a diagnosis, not by a delay, not by disappointment. That's the difference between the peace the world offers and the peace I provide. Mine is unshakable, eternal. It outlasts storms. It outlives pain. It overcomes every lie that says you'll never feel safe again. So here is my invitation to you, right now. Stop waiting for the outside to calm before you claim the peace I've placed within. You are not missing it. You're not behind. You're not broken beyond repair. You are simply being called to return to the source, to me. And remember that everything you truly need, I've already begun in you. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Let your heart remember what your mind forgets. Peace is not a destination. Peace is a person. And I am here. In you. With you. Always. I know the thoughts that fill your mind when you mess up. When you stumble. When you feel like you've let yourself or others down. There's a voice that rises in those moments. A voice that tells you that you've pushed too far. That you've crossed a line. That you failed so many times that you will never be worthy of my presence again. But I want to say that put aside once and for all. I'm not going anywhere. I've never been afraid of your mistakes. I've never walked away from you in your weakness. And I will not abandon you when you fall short. You've been holding on to this fear, a fear that tells you that your failures will push me away, that your shortcomings will make me turn my back. You've been thinking that I only stay when you're at your best, when you've got it all together. But that's not how I work. I didn't come for the perfect version of you. I came for you, just as you are. The broken, the struggling, the doubting you. I came to love you in your mess, to redeem you in your imperfection. There is no mistake too big, no failure too final, for my love to overcome. I will never walk away. You might believe that you're just one failure away from losing my love, that the next mistake might be the one that drives me away. But that's not the truth. The truth is, I have already seen your entire story, past, present, and future, and I love you all the same. I am not surprised by your weakness. I'm not shocked by your mistakes. I knew everything about you before I ever called you to be mine. And still, I chose you. I will not leave you just because you stumble. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You can't make me love you less. You can't make me withdraw from you by messing up. Your mistakes don't push me away, they pull me closer. I came to rescue the lost, to heal the broken, to restore what's been lost. And every time you feel like you're falling, I'm right there, reaching out to you. You can't outrun my love. You can't outfail my grace. I'm committed to you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are to me. Every time you feel unworthy, every time you feel like you've let me down, that's when I want you to remember this. My love for you is not based on your performance. I love you because you are mine. I love you because I created you. I love you because I see the beauty in your soul, even when you don't see it in yourself. You are worth my love, not because of your achievements, but because of who I am and how I see you. And I will never stop seeing you the way I do, beloved, cherished, treasured, and enough, always. This is urgent because too many of you live in constant fear of my rejection. You think you've pushed me too far, that you failed too many times, that your mistakes have piled up to a point where I can no longer stay with you. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. I will never walk away. My commitment to you is unshakable. My love for you is unbreakable. I don't love you based on how well you perform or how well you meet others' expectations. I love you because I made you, because I know the fullness of your heart, and because I chose to be with you through every moment of your life. The enemy wants you to believe that when you fall short, you've lost my favor, But the truth is that your imperfections only make my love shine brighter. It's in those moments of brokenness that you experience my grace most fully, where you understand just how deep my mercy goes. I am here to love you in your imperfection, not in spite of it. You don't need to run from your mistakes. You don't need to hide when you feel unworthy. You need to come to me with open arms, knowing that I will never turn away. I'm always waiting for you, always ready to restore, always eager to forgive. You can't outfail my love. You can't make me stop loving you. I am here for the real you, the one who stumbles, the one who doubts, the one who sometimes feels lost. You are enough, and I will never leave you. There is a kind of sadness that words can't express, and I know you felt it. It sits quietly behind your eyes, pressed down deep beneath smiles, distractions, and daily responsibilities. It's the ache that arrives without warning, the heaviness that stays even when you're surrounded by people. I see it. I see you. And more than that, I feel what you feel. Every tear you swallowed back, every emotion you've tucked away because you didn't think there was room for it, I've carried it with you. I've held it close to my heart, not to judge you, but to comfort you. I'm not distant from your sorrow. I'm inside it with you. You've had moments where it hurt so much that you couldn't even cry. Other times, the tears came freely, but only in solitude, when no one was watching. You didn't want to be a burden. You didn't want to explain what felt too complex, too vulnerable. So you kept it to yourself. But child, you never had to hide your pain from me. I've been with you through it all, through the sleepless nights, the silent breakdowns, the moments when it felt like hope was too far away to reach. You've wondered if anyone truly sees what you're going through. You've hoped someone might understand without you having to say a word. And I want you to know, I understand perfectly. Every tear carries a story, and I know them all. The ones born from loss, the ones birthed in disappointment, the ones that come from fear, from feeling not enough, from carrying more than anyone realizes. Each one is precious to me. I don't overlook even a single drop. I gather them, not as a reminder of your weakness, but as proof of your humanity and my nearness. You've been told to be strong. You've learned to keep going. And while there is courage in perseverance, there is also strength in surrender. There is healing in letting go. You don't need to keep holding back what your soul longs to release. I am not uncomfortable with your brokenness. I am not pushing you to recover faster. I'm simply here, present in your pain, patient with your process, and deeply in love with you just as you are. Let me speak directly to that hidden place in your heart, the one that still wonders if tears make you weak. They don't. They make you real. They make you honest. And every tear you've cried, whether seen or unseen, has never gone unnoticed. You are not invisible. Your sorrow has not been ignored. I've been there, every time your chest tightened, every time your heart sank, every time you wiped your face and tried to act like everything was fine. You don't need to pretend with me. You never did. This is sacred space. This is the part of your life that I want to be fully invited into. Not just the parts where you're strong and certain, but the places where you're fragile and afraid. I want to sit with you in the places where you've hidden the pain, where you've stored away grief like an old box no one's allowed to open. Let me open it with you. Let me hold what you're still carrying. You don't have to manage it alone. You don't have to cry alone. This is urgent because uncried tears don't just disappear. They build. They echo. They wear down your soul quietly. And I want to bring relief. Not temporary relief, but deep, lasting healing. I want to hold you, not just emotionally, but spiritually, to pour peace into the places that have only known pressure. You don't need to be afraid of letting it out. I'll catch every tear, and I'll transform everyone into restoration. Not one of them is wasted in my presence. So go ahead. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let yourself feel what you've been suppressing. Let me into the room you've kept locked for so long. I am not afraid of your sadness. I am not distant from your sorrow. I am Emmanuel, God with you, and that means even in this, especially in this. And when the tears stop, know this: I'll still be here. When the pain lifts, my arms will still be wrapped around you. I don't just visit during the pain. I remain to bring healing after it. You've cried alone for too long. It's time to let yourself be held. You've been trying to piece it all together, haven't you? Looking at your life like a puzzle scattered across the table, hoping that if you can just figure out how all the parts connect, the chaos will make sense. You've asked questions that haven't been answered. You've searched for reasons in seasons that felt unfair. You've wanted clarity so badly that the silence has sometimes felt like abandonment. But child, I haven't left you. I've been walking with you through every uncertain step. And while you long for full understanding, what I'm offering you is something more valuable: trust that stands even when nothing makes sense. You think you need to understand the why in order to find peace. But peace doesn't come from understanding. It comes from surrendering the need to know and choosing instead to believe that I know. And that's enough. You don't need to see the end of the road to know that I'm leading you somewhere good. You don't need every detail to be explained before you can rest. What you need is confidence in the one who holds it all, and that's me. There are things happening around you and within you that you can't yet see the purpose of. That doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means you're in the middle. And the middle is often messy. It's the place where clarity hasn't come, where progress feels slow, where answers seem distant. But even here, especially here, I am faithful. I am shaping something within you that can't be rushed, and I'm asking you to trust the process, even when it stretches you beyond comfort. You've asked me, why did this happen? What am I supposed to do? When will it change? And I've heard every word. But there are times I don't answer those questions the way you expect, not because I'm ignoring you, but because I'm teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. I'm growing in you a depth that only trust can reach, a strength that isn't dependent on explanations, a peace that doesn't crumble when the plan shifts. I never promised you would understand everything along the way, but I did promise you wouldn't walk it alone. I did promise that I'd never lead you into something that doesn't serve a greater purpose in the end. Even the painful parts, even the delays, even the detours. Nothing is wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single moment of waiting. Not a single prayer you've whispered in frustration. I'm using it all, weaving it into something more beautiful than you could imagine. This is where trust comes in. Not the kind of trust that waits for everything to feel right, but the kind that says, even when I don't see it, I'll follow. The kind that whispers, I don't understand this part, but I know the one who does. That's what I'm inviting you into. A deeper reliance on me, not on circumstances. A faith that is rooted not in what is seen, but in who I am. And I am the same. Yesterday, today, and forever. This is urgent, because your peace is not found in the answer. It's found in the assurance that I'm with you. The more you chase understanding without resting in trust, the more you'll exhaust yourself. But when you trust me, even in the unknown, you open your heart to experience peace in the middle of the storm. You learn to breathe even when the wind is loud. You learn to walk even when the path is unclear. And you begin to discover that my presence is greater than any explanation you could ever receive. So here is my promise again. You may not always understand the way I lead, but you will never be led without purpose. You may not see the full picture yet, but I am painting something eternal, and every stroke matters. Don't let confusion make you believe I'm not good. Don't let delay make you think I've changed my mind about you. I haven't. I never will. What I need from you right now isn't understanding. It's surrender. Let go of the pressure to figure it all out. Let go of the weight of having to have all the answers. Just hold my hand. Walk with me. Trust me. I got this. And I've got you. You've been measuring your progress by the timelines of others, haven't you? Watching their breakthroughs, their celebrations, their milestones, and wondering if somehow, somewhere, you missed your moment. You silently asked, shouldn't I be further along by now? You felt the sting of delay, the ache of comparison, the pressure to move faster, do more, become someone greater. But child, hear me clearly. You are not late. You are not failing. And you are not forgotten. You are exactly where I positioned you, not as punishment, but for preparation. You think progress means visible motion. Unless something is changing in front of your eyes, nothing is happening. But I don't work on your life the way the world works on schedules. I work in layers. I build from the inside out. And sometimes, the greatest progress is happening when everything looks still on the surface. You are not stuck. You're being shaped. What feels like pause is not absence. It's deep work. Quiet transformation. Sacred development that can't be rushed. I've heard the voices in your mind whispering that you're not doing enough. I've seen the disappointment you carry when you compare your story to someone else's. But I didn't write your story to match theirs. Your path is your own, handcrafted, deliberate, and filled with purpose you don't yet fully see. You are not behind. You're in process. And the process is holy. When a seed is buried in the soil, you don't call it late because it hasn't bloomed. You understand that roots grow first, hidden, quiet, unseen. You trust that the soil is not a grave, but a beginning. The same is true for you. What's happening beneath the surface right now matters just as much as the visible growth that will one day rise. You're being rooted, grounded, strengthened for what I'm building in and through you. Don't confuse hiddenness with abandonment. Don't let silence convince you that nothing is happening. You're not being punished. You're being protected. I'm keeping you covered while I work on parts of you that no one else sees. I'm strengthening your endurance, teaching your heart to trust even when it doesn't all make sense. I'm making sure your foundation is secure before I take you into more because I love you too much to rush what isn't ready. This is important, child, because if you believe you're behind, you'll begin to strive instead of rest. You'll start pushing when I've called you to be still. You'll chase what was never meant for you just to feel like you're catching up. But I haven't called you to run in someone else's lane. I've called you to walk with me, step by step, knowing that my pace is perfect and my timing is precise. The world rewards speed, but I build depth. The world celebrates quick results, but I rejoice in lasting transformation. I'm not in a hurry with you, and I don't want you to be in a hurry with yourself. This journey we're on is not a race against anyone. It's a walk of trust, a story of becoming, a daily unfolding of everything I designed you to be. So breathe. Let go of the timeline you thought you had to follow. Release the pressure that says you should be further along. And rest in this truth. You are right on time. You are not missing it. You are not falling short. You are not too late. You are being refined, deepened, matured, in ways that will produce a harvest in due time. This is not the end of your story. It's a vital chapter. It's the season where I prepare you, polish you, and draw you closer to me. Don't despise it. Don't rush through it. Embrace it. Because what I'm building now, in secret, will sustain you when the spotlight comes. What I'm healing now will protect you when the doors open. What I'm doing now will anchor you when your season changes. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not delayed. You are deep in the center of my will, and I'm not finished with you yet. You've been waiting to hear something, anything, that would reassure your weary heart. You've asked questions. You've prayed honestly. You searched for clarity, looked for direction, longed for confirmation. But the response hasn't come the way you expected. The noise hasn't broken. The sky hasn't opened. And so you've started wondering, did I miss something? Did he stop speaking? Did I do something wrong? But I want to speak directly to your heart right now, The quiet around you does not mean I'm gone. It means I'm drawing you deeper. You've associated silence with distance, but that's not how I move. My silence is never a punishment. It's never rejection. It's invitation. It's an opening for you to lean closer, to come not for answers, but for presence. I'm inviting you to tune in differently, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Because not every word I speak is loud. Some of my most powerful words come in the stillness, in the space where distractions fall away and all that remains is me and you. Think of how whisper works. You don't shout when someone is close. You lower your voice. The closer I draw to you, the quieter I may speak, not because I'm retreating, but because I'm near. You don't need volume to know I'm speaking. You need closeness. And child, I've never been nearer. You've been afraid that my silence means you're on the wrong path, that you've misstepped or failed in some invisible way. But I want you to know, I trust you enough to let you walk through a season where faith becomes your compass. I know your heart. I know you desire me. I know you sought me with sincerity. And I'm not testing you to see if you'll fall. I'm teaching you to feel me when the signs are subtle, when the map isn't clear, when the noise fades away and only my presence remains. This season isn't about punishment. It's about intimacy. It's about letting you discover that you don't need constant noise to know I'm real. You just need stillness. The same way seeds grow in silence beneath the surface, I am growing something in you. Something rooted, something unshakable, something that can only be formed when everything else goes quiet. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know you want reassurance, direction, something visible. But I'm working on something eternal in this space of silence, and it's worth the wait. This is urgent, because if you misinterpret silence as my absence, you'll begin to fill the quiet with doubt. You'll start second-guessing what you once believed. You'll let fear speak louder than truth. But I want you to anchor yourself in what you already know. My character hasn't changed. My love hasn't wavered. My plans for you haven't been abandoned. Silence is not the same as distance, and I have not stepped away. In fact, some of the most holy moments of your life are happening right now, not in the breakthroughs, not in the celebrations, but in the quiet decisions to keep walking, keep trusting, keep believing. These are the moments that shape your soul. These are the moments that deepen your roots. And I'm in every one of them. I'm in the quiet mornings. I'm in the long nights. I'm in the pauses between your prayers. I'm not absent. I'm hidden in the stillness, waiting for you to find me there. You don't need to fear the silence. You need to lean into it. Let it become sacred. Let it become a sanctuary where you remember that my voice isn't always thunder. Sometimes, it's the peace that settles when everything else stops. Sometimes, it's the strength to keep going when the path is unclear. Sometimes, it's the deep knowing that you are held, even when you can't feel the embrace. So stop straining to hear what isn't loud. Listen for what is true. I'm not far. I'm not silent because I've gone. I'm silent because I'm close, and I want you to discover that my presence isn't proven by noise, but by stillness. And if you listen with your heart, you'll realize I've been speaking all along. You've been wondering when it will happen, when the ache will stop, when the answers will come, when your heart will feel whole again. You've carried pain that lingers longer than you expected, wounds that seem slow to close, and questions about why the healing hasn't arrived the way you imagine. But child, listen carefully. Your healing is not denied, is not forgotten, and it's not being withheld. It's growing in quiet, sacred ways, right now, even as you read this. I know it feels like nothing is changing. You still feel the sting of what broke you. You still wake up carrying a weight you wish was gone. You've prayed, you've waited, you hope, and still, the pain has remained. But I need you to understand something you can't see yet. Not all healing happens suddenly. Some healing takes root in silence. Some healing builds beneath the surface before it ever appears outwardly. And that kind of healing, the slow, steady kind, is often the most lasting. You're looking for the day when everything feels better. I'm giving you the strength to live through the days that don't. You're expecting a moment that changes everything. I'm giving you moment-by-moment grace that strengthens you in everything. What you may not realize is that healing isn't always about what leaves. Sometimes it's about what's being restored inside of you. Your courage, your voice, your ability to hope again. These aren't small things. These are miracles in motion. I've watched how you've kept showing up even with a heart that's been hurting. I've seen how you've chosen to believe when doubt begged you to give up. That matters to me. It's not wasted. Your endurance is part of the healing. Your faith, even when it's trembling, is part of the recovery. You may not feel whole yet, but you are not where you were. And I'm proud of how far you've come, even when you don't recognize the progress yourself. You see, I'm not just healing the pain, I'm healing the root. I'm going deeper than the symptoms. I'm working on the memories, the beliefs, the scars that no one else knows about. And I'm not rushing it, because real healing doesn't just patch the surface. It rewrites the foundation. It reclaims the ground the enemy tried to steal. It restores your sense of safety, your ability to love, your capacity to receive. That kind of healing isn't quick, but it is powerful. And it lasts. I know there have been days you felt like nothing is happening. But child, the very fact that you're still breathing, still standing, still reaching for me, that is evidence that healing is already underway. It doesn't always show up as dramatic change. Sometimes it's waking up with a little more strength than the day before. Sometimes it's realizing you cried less today than yesterday. Sometimes it's the return of a quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, things are beginning to shift. This is vital to hear right now, because if you believe that healing hasn't started, you'll begin to lose heart. And I don't want that for you. I want you to see the beauty in the process. I want you to trust that even when it doesn't feel fast or obvious, I am faithful. I am present. I am working. The wait is not punishment. The slow pace is not neglect. It's preparation. It's depth. It's love that refuses to let anything shallow remain where something holy should grow. Let this truth anchor you. I have not forgotten what you've asked me to heal. I'm still working. I'm still tending. I'm still bringing wholeness in the places that have long felt broken. You may not see it yet, but one day you'll look back and realize it was happening all along. I never stopped moving. I never stopped mending. And I never left your side. So take a breath. Let go of the need to see it all now. Trust that healing doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it unfolds like dawn, slowly, softly, steadily. And soon, the light will rise. The warmth will return. And you will find yourself standing in a peace that only I could have created. You are being healed even here. Even now. There's a quiet fear inside you. That maybe the damage has gone too deep. That maybe the cracks in your life have disqualified you from the kind of new beginning you once dreamed of. You've told yourself, it's too late. You've wondered if your mistakes, the missed chances, the disappointments you faced, have pushed you too far off course to ever recover. You've learned to adapt to the ache, to manage the loss, to live in the shadow of what you thought would be. But I am here to tell you, child, that nothing is beyond redemption in my hands. Nothing. I want you to hear this clearly. I make all things new. Not just slightly improved. Not just patched together to hide the damage. I bring restoration that goes all the way to the root. I don't just give you back what you lost. I create beauty from the brokenness. I bring purpose out of pain. I don't ignore what happened. I transform it. And you are not too far gone for me to begin again in you. You've been sifting through the pieces, trying to figure out how to rebuild on your own, wondering if anything salvageable remains. But the truth is, I don't need your life to be in perfect shape to work wonders. I need your willingness, not your perfection. I'm not limited by the condition of your past. I'm moved by the surrender of your heart. If you bring me what's left, I will do what only I can do. I will breathe new life into what you thought was over. You see ashes. I see a future. You see ruins. I see the raw material of something sacred. You see failure. I see the soil where growth will take root. This is who I am, the God who rebuilds what others leave behind. The God who writes new chapters when the world says the story is over. The God who looks at your worst moment and still calls you chosen. You've been bracing for a continuation of the same pain. But I want to surprise you with a new beginning. A true one. One that isn't held back by what went wrong but propelled by what I've placed inside you. Strength, resilience, destiny. You've lived in survival mode for too long. It's time to thrive again. Not because you earned it. Not because you figured everything out. But because I love to begin again. This is urgent, because if you keep believing your brokenness is the end of your story, you'll never step into the new I'm preparing. You'll stay stuck in what was, never realizing what could be. You'll miss the open door because your eyes are still fixed on the closed one. But I'm not standing in your past. I'm walking you into a future full of promise, full of possibility, full of peace. Let me restore your hope. Let me rebuild your confidence. Let me reignite your vision. There is more for you, not despite your past, but because of what I'm going to do through it. I use broken people to display unbreakable grace. I use shattered seasons to showcase my strength. I don't shy away from what's been torn. I step in and create something far more beautiful than what existed before. So come to me with the ruins. Bring me the parts you've hidden. Bring me the parts others said were too damaged to matter. And watch what I do. Watch how I redeem what you thought was wasted. Watch how I take what was meant to destroy you and make it part of your testimony. You don't need to have a plan. You just need to say yes. Say yes to starting again. Say yes to walking forward. Say yes to believing that your story isn't over. I'm not done with you. I'm not frustrated by where you are. I'm not disappointed by how long it's taken. I'm here, ready to begin again. Ready to lead you into something fresh, something real, something full of purpose. Let me write a new beginning, right here, right now. All I need is your yes. You've carried more than you were ever designed to carry, haven't you? For so long, you've been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who everyone turns to when things get tough. You had to hold it together for others, and in the process, you've convinced yourself that you had to hold it together for yourself, too. Every moment of difficulty, every ounce of struggle, you've tried to carry it with your own strength. But child, hear me now. You don't have to keep holding everything on your own. You were never meant to. The weight you're carrying, the burden you've placed on yourself, the pressure you've accepted, the responsibility you've tried to shoulder, it was never intended for you to bear alone. I didn't create you to be a walking monument of self-reliance. I created you for dependence on me. Not in a way that diminishes your worth, but in a way that reveals the fullness of my love and care for you. I am here to take the load that has weighed you down, to ease the heaviness that you've been carrying for so long. You don't need to keep pretending that everything is fine when your heart is tired. You don't need to keep holding it all together when your soul is exhausted. I know what it feels like to carry unspoken pain. I know what it's like to be strong for everyone else while feeling empty inside. But I am here to tell you, in love, you don't need to do it alone. Let me carry what you can't. Let me be the one who holds you when you're too tired to stand. Let me be the one who heals the parts of you that no one else sees, the parts of you that feel broken beyond repair. This is crucial because you've been running on your own strength for so long that you've forgotten what it's like to surrender. You've tried to manage your pain, your struggles, your future, your fears, by yourself. You've convinced yourself that if you don't do it, no one will. But I didn't call you to carry the world on your shoulders. I called you to walk with me. I called you to rely on my strength when your own is failing, to trust in my timing when yours feels like it's running out. When you feel like you're at your breaking point, remember this: I am the one who can carry it all. And I am here to lift you up when you're ready to release the weight that's been holding you down. You are not a failure because you can't do it all. You are not weak because you need help. You are human. And in your humanity, I offer you my divine help. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You don't need to have it all figured out to be worthy of my care. I love you in your brokenness, in your exhaustion, in your weakness. You've carried the burden of being everything for everyone, but you don't need to be that anymore. I'm enough for you. And when you allow me to be your strength, when you let me hold you, you'll find rest. True rest. The kind of rest that fills your soul and renews your heart. I am not just here to comfort you in the good moments. I'm here to hold you in the hard ones. I'm here to help you when you feel like you're drowning in the responsibilities and struggles. My arms are always open, ready to embrace you with peace. I know the weight of your exhaustion, the fatigue of trying to keep it all together. But here's what I need you to understand. You were never meant to carry this burden alone. It's okay to fall into my arms. It's okay to trust that I will carry you when you feel weak. I'm not asking you to hold it all together. I'm asking you to surrender it, to give it to me. And in return, I will give you rest. I will restore your soul. I will lift the weight from your shoulders. You don't need to be everything for everyone, and you don't need to prove your worth by carrying more than you were designed to. Your worth is not in how much you carry, but in how much you allow me to carry for you. Let me be your refuge. Let me be your safe place. Let me be the one who holds you when the world feels too heavy. I am here always. And you don't have to hold it all together anymore. You've been carrying the weight of being misunderstood. You've tried your best to love well, to give what you could, to make choices that reflect your heart. But not everyone saw it. Some misread you. Some judged without knowing the full story. Some assumed motives that weren't yours. And the silence that followed, it hurt more than you let on. You've been walking through life trying to do the right thing, often unseen, often misinterpreted, often left without the closure your heart needed. But child, I want you to know that I see what others overlook. I see the reasons behind your choices. I see your heart. While the world measures you by outcomes, I look deeper. I see the motive behind the movement. I see the care behind your silence, the love behind your sacrifice, the hope behind your efforts. You've second-guessed yourself because others did. You've wondered if maybe you could have said it better, shown it differently, or made a stronger case for what was true inside you. But I want you to rest now. You are not unknown to me. You are fully understood. And that matters more than being recognized by anyone else. I watched when you gave, without expecting anything in return. I listened when you held your tongue to protect peace. I was there when you cried after doing the right thing that cost you something deep. And I know the purity of your motives, even when your voice trembled, even when the outcome looked imperfect. Your obedience in secret did not go unnoticed. Your motives are not lost in my sight. You don't have to over-explain yourself anymore. You don't have to live to prove your heart to people who chose not to see it. That's exhausting. That's not your burden. Let me carry that. Let me be your defender. Let me be the one who brings justice in the quiet ways that only heaven notices. You are not defined by their misunderstanding. You are defined by my full understanding. This is vital, child, because if you keep living for human approval, you'll constantly feel unseen and unheard. But if you begin to live from the assurance that I see it all, your intentions, your efforts, your unseen kindness, you'll begin to walk in peace again. You'll stop trying to explain yourself to people who were never meant to validate your worth in the first place. I never asked you to impress others. I asked you to walk with me. Let me remind you. I see the moment you chose forgiveness over revenge. I see the time you chose silence over defensiveness. I see the battles you fought behind the scenes, the ones no one applauded, but I celebrated. I know how hard it's been to keep doing good when the recognition never came. But child, I'm not just watching your actions. I'm measuring your heart. And your heart has been faithful. Don't let the sting of being misunderstood keep you from continuing in love. Don't harden. Don't shrink. Don't lose the softness that makes you beautifully mine. Keep showing up. Keep choosing integrity. Keep letting me work through your heart, even when others don't understand it. Your reward isn't in their applause. It's in my presence. It's in knowing that I smile over you, even when the crowd remains silent. This world will not always get it right, but I will. I always do. I always will. You don't need to perform for clarity. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to convince others of your heart. Let me speak for you. Let me cover you. Let me heal what misunderstanding has broken. I will make things clear in time, in ways more powerful than words ever could. And while you wait, hold on to this truth. I understand you. Not just what you've done, but why you've done it. Not just how you acted, but what you hoped. Not just where you stand, but what you carried to get here. You are seen. You are known. And you are loved, not for your perfection, but for your honesty. You can rest in that. You can breathe again. I understand. You've been sitting in what feels like a pause. Hoping. Praying. Expecting something to break open. You've marked the passing days, watched for signs, whispered the same questions in the dark. When will it happen? When will I see movement? When will you show up? But child, I want you to lean in and hear this clearly. I've already started. What you think is delay is actually development. What you're calling waiting is really me watching to see when you'll recognize that the door is already open. You've been waiting for a sign in the sky while I've been placing steps beneath your feet. You've been looking for permission to move forward, but I already gave it. In that peace you felt, in that clarity you ignored, in that still small voice you heard but second-guessed. You're not behind. You're not stuck. You're not forgotten. You are simply standing at the beginning of something I've already breathed into motion. And now, I'm asking you to believe. You see, it doesn't always start with a trumpet sound. Sometimes it starts with a shift in your heart. A nudge. A prompting. A subtle redirection. But instead of stepping into it, you've been waiting for confirmation that feels big enough to silence all your doubts. But faith doesn't wait for proof. It moves when I speak. And I've already spoken. You just haven't realized how much is already in motion. I've aligned conversations, orchestrated encounters, shifted timelines, all for you. But because the fruit hasn't fully bloomed, you've assumed nothing is growing. That's not true. The soil is active even when it looks still. The roots are spreading even before you see the leaves. And in the same way, my plan for you has been steadily unfolding, beneath the surface, beyond your sight, within your heart. I'm not waiting to begin. I've already begun. I'm waiting for you to believe it, and live like you do. To stop preparing as if nothing is coming, and start preparing because you know it is. I'm waiting for you to step into today with the expectation of movement, not the mindset of delay. I'm waiting for you to speak as if you trust me, walk like you've heard me, and move like it's already happening, because it is. This is important, because if you keep believing that nothing has started, you'll stay stuck in cycles of hesitation. You'll pray for direction, but never take the first step. You'll ask for signs, but ignore the ones I've already sent. And you'll miss the miracle of the moment because you're waiting for it to feel more miraculous. But my greatest works often begin in simple obedience, in trusting me even when there's no visible evidence yet. I know it's been hard. I know the delay has felt endless. But trust me, I haven't forgotten you. I haven't withheld from you. I've simply been working in layers you don't yet see. Learning things. Protecting you from premature exposure. making sure that when the next door opens, you'll be ready, not just externally, but deep within. I don't just build outcomes. I build people. And I've been building you. You thought you were waiting on me to act. But now, I'm inviting you to see that it's your faith I'm waiting for. Not perfect faith. Not fearless faith. Just enough faith to take the next step. Just enough faith to believe that what I've started is real, even if it's quiet. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step I've shown you. That's where your breakthrough begins. So today, shift your focus. Stop watching the horizon for some dramatic moment of change, and start seeing the evidence all around you. The doors I've nudged open. The desires I've placed in your heart. The sense that something is stirring, even if you don't yet have words for it. That stirring. That's me. That's the beginning. You are not in the waiting room. You are in the birthing room. Something new is being formed. Something holy. Something personal. Something designed just for you. And it's already begun. And how will you believe it? You've been focused on the outcome, waiting for the fulfillment, watching for the breakthrough. Your heart has clung to my promises, and you've held on through storms, delays, and disappointments. And I know it's felt long. I know there are days when you wonder if it's even coming at all. But what if I told you? The delay isn't denial. The process isn't punishment. It's preparation. And not just preparation of circumstances. It's preparation of you. What you're waiting for is real. What I've spoken over your life is still alive. I haven't changed my mind. I haven't pushed you aside. But the promise you're believing for doesn't just require my provision. It requires your readiness. You see, I'm not just preparing doors to open. I'm preparing your character so you can walk through them with confidence and endurance. I'm forming in you what the blessing will demand of you. And that takes time. You've asked for influence, but influence without humility can crush a soul. You've asked for elevation, but elevation without depth becomes unstable. You've asked for increase, but increase without maturity can become a burden. So I'm not holding the promise back. I'm strengthening your hands to carry it. I'm teaching you how to walk in quiet places so you won't lose yourself in crowded ones. I'm forming trust in the shadows so that when the light comes, your roots won't be shaken. You've been faithful in hidden seasons, and that hasn't gone unnoticed. I see your consistency when no one else is clapping. I see your sacrifice when no one else is watching. I see your integrity when compromise would be easier. And I want you to know, this is the training ground for the promise. This is where endurance is built. This is where humility grows. This is where your spirit learns to stay anchored to me no matter what comes. Because what I'm preparing for you is not light. It's not temporary. It's not small. It's weighty. It's holy. It's meant to last. And I don't want to give you something that will break you. I want to give you something you can sustain, something that brings life, not exhaustion. Something that deepens your joy, not steals your peace. So yes, I'm preparing the blessing. But more importantly, I'm preparing you to carry it with strength, with grace, and with me at the center. This is important because if I gave it to you too soon, you might not recognize the responsibility it carries. You might let pride sneak in. You might forget how dependent you are on me. And child, I love you too much to give you something that would distance your heart from mine. So I've been shaping your inner life while you wait. Teaching you how to steward the unseen. How to lean into me when nothing is certain. How to worship when the answer hasn't come. You may feel like nothing's happening, but in reality, everything is happening. Under the surface. Inside your heart. Around your life. I'm aligning things you don't even know you'll need. I'm softening places that used to be guarded. I'm teaching you how to walk by faith, not by sight. All of this is preparation, and none of it is wasted. This is not a holding pattern. It's a launching pad. You're not circling the same place again and again. You're being refined, sharpened, readied for the weight of glory I've designed you to carry. You're not just being delayed, you're being equipped. And when the moment comes, when the door swings open and the promise stands in front of you, you'll walk into it with clarity, with authority, and with a deep awareness that it was me who brought you there. So lift your head. Don't despise the process. Don't rush the shaping. You're not just waiting for the promise to be ready. I'm waiting for you to see that you're becoming the person who can carry it well. I haven't forgotten. I'm not withholding. I'm preparing. You're closer than you know, not just to the fulfillment, but to the version of you that can hold it, guard it, and thrive within it. You're not standing still, you're becoming. And when it's time, the weight of what I've promised won't crush you, because you will be ready. I know what it feels like to be overlooked, to watch others move forward while you stay in place, to celebrate with them through gritted teeth, wondering when it will be your turn. You've seen doors open for others that you've been praying would open for you. You've watched people be chosen, noticed, embraced, while you've remained in the shadows, asking quietly, did they forget me? Did you forget me? But I need you to hear me clearly now. You are not forgotten. You are reserved. You've been hidden, not because you were unwanted, but because you are precious. Because the calling on your life is not common. Because what I'm preparing in you isn't meant to be right. You haven't been left behind. You've been set aside. There is a difference. The world sees delay and calls it rejection. But I see delay and call it protection, development, sanctification. I've been setting you apart, not as punishment, but as preparation for something sacred. Sometimes I hide those I love the most, not to withhold good things from them, but to guard them while I do something deeper inside. You are not in waiting because you are forgotten. You are in waiting because I am refining you for something greater than what's visible right now. The oil I'm placing on your life is costly, and costly things require careful handling. If I allowed you to be exposed before the oil was ready, the anointing could be misunderstood or misused. I've watched you carry disappointment quietly. I've seen the way you've wrestled with wondering if maybe others are more valuable in my plan. You've questioned your own gifts, doubted your place, minimized your purpose. But what you don't know is that heaven has been watching you the entire time. I've seen you be faithful in silence. I've seen you worship in the unseen. I've seen you believe when there were no visible signs. And that hasn't just pleased me, it's honored me. You weren't made to be like everyone else, and that's why your journey hasn't looked like theirs. You've been set apart. Loved. Not for perfection, but for purpose. And purpose takes time to form. Not because I'm cruel, but because I'm intentional. You are not a random piece in the puzzle. You are a cornerstone in the story I'm telling. And the weight of your calling demands a level of preparation many will never see, but it's happening, even now. This is important, child, because if you mistake being set apart for being forgotten, you'll start settling. You'll chase what's popular instead of waiting for what's holy. You'll reach for what's easy instead of standing firm for what's eternal. And that's not what I've called you to. I've called you to walk with me, even when the path is lonely, even when it's quiet, even when it's misunderstood by others. Because what I'm building in you will speak for itself in time. Don't resent the hiddenness. Respect it. The hiding place is where strength grows. The quiet place is where roots go deep. And the secret place is where I whisper things to you that you could never hear in the noise of applause. Don't trade intimacy with me for temporary visibility. Don't let the world's pace make you doubt my timing. I'm not preparing you for a moment. I'm preparing you for a mantle. You haven't missed your chance. You haven't been passed over. You haven't failed. You've been chosen for a specific assignment, and I'm still unfolding it. Piece by piece. Day by day. In ways you don't even recognize yet. Trust me, when it's time, what I've placed inside you will be undeniable. It will shine without striving. It will be received without forcing. It will be recognized not because you demanded attention, but because you carried my presence. So don't give up in the silence. Don't bow to the pressure to perform. Don't believe the lie that you're forgotten. You've been set apart. For purpose, for impact, for me. And I always finish what I start. There's a weariness that settles in after you've held on for a long time. When the path has stretched longer than expected, when the answers don't arrive on your timeline, when the climb feels endless, doubt begins to creep in. You wonder if you misunderstood, if you misheard me, or worse, if I've walked away. You've whispered it in the quiet, God, are you still with me? I want to speak directly into that moment of uncertainty. Yes, I am. Not only am I still with you, but I've never taken my eyes off of you, not for a single moment. You've been faithful to follow me, even when it didn't make sense. You've taken steps in the dark, moved forward without clarity, trusted when nothing around you gave assurance. And I know it's been hard. I know there have been moments where you question whether it was worth it, whether you could keep going. But child, let me assure you, I didn't lead you this far to leave you stranded. Every step you've taken has been guided. Every delay has been purposeful. Every stretch of silence has served a reason far beyond what you can see now. I know it feels like you've reached the edge, the point where your strength is spent, where your hope feels stretched thin. But I'm not at a distance, watching from afar. I'm beside you, still leading, still whispering, still mapping out the way ahead even when the road is hidden. I've been walking in front of you, clearing paths, moving obstacles, preparing what's next, not just for the sake of the journey, but for the sake of your soul. You've made more progress than you realize. What you call survival, I call triumph. What you see as slow, I see as steady. And while you've been focusing on the gaps, the prayers not yet answered, the doors not yet opened, I've been celebrating every step you've taken in faith. Even when you trembled, even when you doubted, even when you wanted to turn around but kept going anyway. That is the kind of faith that moves heaven. You've come too far to turn back. And I didn't bring you this far to abandon the story we're writing together. I'm not finished. What I began in you is still unfolding, still alive, still pulsing with promise. It may not look how you expected. It may be moving slower than you hoped. But it is still in motion, because I'm still in control. This is vital, because when you believe you're alone, you'll start to retreat. You'll begin to doubt what you once knew was true. But I want to remind you that my presence hasn't left you. In fact, this part of the journey is where I often walk closest, not when everything is bright and certain, but when things feel unclear and overwhelming. This is where intimacy is built, not in comfort, but in trust. And I haven't just been watching your journey. I've been holding your hand through it. I've been your strength when you didn't have any left. I've been your peace when the questions were louder than the answers. I've been your light when the road was dim. I never expected you to walk this alone. That was never the plan. You were always meant to lean on me, to follow me, to rest in the assurance that I don't lead halfway and quit. I lead all the way through. So don't let weariness speak louder than truth. Don't let delay redefine my presence. Don't let fear write a narrative that doesn't reflect who I am. You are not forgotten. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being led. You are being kept. You are being carried. And I haven't stopped guiding you. Not now, not ever. Rest your heart. Steady your thoughts. Take the next step, even if it's small. You're not on your own. I've brought you this far, and I promise, I'm taking you the rest of the way. I know the weight of what you've been walking through. The silence, the stretching, the moments that feel like loss, like being overlooked, like you've been put in a place that doesn't match what I promised. You've wondered, did I do something wrong? You've questioned whether the pain you're enduring is a consequence, a result of failing, missing it, falling short. But today I want to make this clear to you. This is not punishment. This is preparation. This is positioning. You've been interpreting discomfort as disapproval. You've been mistaking closed doors as rejection. But I'm doing something far more deliberate. I'm not casting you out, I'm setting you apart. There's a difference. You are being moved, not because you've been disqualified, but because I'm realigning you for something greater. What feels like restriction is actually redirection. What feels like delay is divine timing. And what seems like a detour is the exact road I intended for you all along. I haven't stopped loving you. I haven't stopped leading you. I haven't changed my mind about you. But I'm more interested in forming your heart than in rushing you into a destination you're not ready to handle. This process isn't meant to break you. It's meant to shape you. And if it feels unfamiliar, it's because I'm doing something new. You've prayed for purpose, and now I'm anchoring you in places that grow deep roots. You've asked for my will, and now I'm removing what would distract you from it. You've asked for clarity, and now I'm stripping away what isn't meant to go where I'm taking you. But I'm doing it gently, intentionally, and lovingly. This isn't punishment. It's protection. It's strategy. It's a holy shift. I know it's hard to see the full picture right now. It feels like things are being taken away, when really, they're being rearranged. It feels like people are walking out, when in truth, I'm creating space for better alignment. You are not losing. You are being positioned. And if you could see what I'm preparing on the other side of this season, you'd stop grieving over what you think you've lost. I've heard your prayers, not just the loud ones but the quiet ones too. The ones whispered through tears. The ones muttered when your faith felt too tired to shout. I haven't ignored a single word. And every step you're taking, every sacrifice you've made, every act of obedience that felt unseen, it's all counted. It's all woven into a bigger plan than you can comprehend right now. This is important, child, because if you confuse discipline with distance, you'll pull away from the very process meant to lift you higher. You'll resist what's actually a rescue. You'll mislabel what I've called holy. I'm not pushing you away. I'm drawing you closer. Closer to clarity. Closer to purpose. Closer to me. The pressure you feel isn't punishment. It's the weight of my hands shaping you. You're being placed precisely. Not carelessly. Not randomly. I've positioned every moment of this season to serve you. Even the ones that hurt. Even the ones that confuse. They're all part of the greater tapestry I'm weaving with your life. And what looks like fragments now will make sense when you see the full design later. So release the fear that you've done something wrong. Let go of the guilt that has tried to cling to your progress. You are not being judged. You are being trusted. Trusted to carry more. Trusted to endure a season of stretching. Trusted to become who I already see you becoming. I discipline those I love, not with punishment, but with purpose. Not to shame you, but to shape you. You're not in the wrong place. You're in the right hands. And those hands, my hands, are building something in you that will last. So breathe, beloved. Take heart. Lift your eyes. You're not being punished. You're being placed. For such a time as this. For a future that's unfolding even now. I am with you in every move, and I promise, I'm working all of this for your good. You've been asking for me to make things easier, and I understand why. The road has been long. The battles have been exhausting. You've prayed for peace, for relief, for a smoother path. And I've heard every word, every cry, every longing from your heart. But today, I want to gently show you something deeper. I'm not shaping your life for comfort. I'm shaping it for eternity. I'm not focused on temporary ease. I'm focused on lasting impact. I know you want the pressure to lift. I know you'd prefer fewer storms, fewer uncertainties, fewer nights where the questions go unanswered. But child, if I removed every discomfort, I'd also remove the very soil that's growing your faith. I'm not being distant by allowing tension. I'm being deliberate. You're not being ignored. You're being strengthened. And while comfort feels good for a moment, what I'm building in you will matter forever. There are things in your life that can only be developed through challenge, not because I want you to suffer, but because pressure reveals what's real. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it purifies it. And what I see in you is precious. You may feel weak, but I see potential. You may feel tired, but I see transformation. You may think this season is wasting time, but I'm using it to prepare you for everything you were born to carry. You've asked me to remove the burden, but what if I'm using it to make you stronger? What if I'm not trying to get you out of the situation, but to meet you in it, to change your perspective, to deepen your reliance on me? Because the fruit I'm growing in you, endurance, patience, trust, character, those aren't produced in ease. They are grown in surrender, in the stretch you, in the places where you realize I'm your only source. You weren't made for shallow living. You were made for depth, for impact, for eternity. And everything I allow in your life passes through the filter of my love. Nothing is wasted. Even this. Even now. The discomfort you're feeling is not the end of the story. It's part of the foundation. It's what anchors your roots so you can stand when the winds come. It's what clears out what can't go with you into the next season. This is crucial, because if you keep chasing comfort, you'll resist the very process that's equipping you for your calling. You'll try to escape what was meant to refine you. You'll seek relief instead of revelation. But I don't want to give you relief that only lasts a day. I want to give you the kind of peace that holds you for a lifetime. The kind that the world can't offer, and circumstances can't steal. So no, I'm not building a life of constant ease around you. I'm building resilience within you. I'm shaping you into someone who knows who they are, even when the world shifts. Someone who doesn't need approval to keep going. Someone who walks in faith, not feelings. Someone who lives for things that last. And child, when you get to the other side of this season, and you will, you'll see what I was doing all along. You'll realize that I was building something deeper than what you asked for. Something stronger. Something rooted in heaven. You'll see that while others were sprinting for comfort, you were being established in truth. You were becoming unshakable, because I was forming something eternal in you. Don't give up because it's hard. Don't walk away because it's uncomfortable. Lean in. Trust me. Let me finish what I've started. This season won't last forever, but the strength you gain from it will. This tension is not your enemy. It's your training. And I'm not far away while you walk through it. I'm right beside you, step by step, reminding you, this is not about what feels good. This is about what will last. So lift your eyes. Breathe again. Rest in this truth. I'm not building comfort. I'm building character, courage, and eternal purpose. And you, my child, are right where you need to be for me to do it. Amen.